welcome everybody to another Saturday afternoon live stream. My name is Jared, and you're watching 3D HP. We got lots of people in the back room, so let me bring them in, and we'll holler at everybody in chat. Hey, Betty Boop, Brandy, how you doing?
Hello, 3D Print Navy.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, how are you?
Astro.
Hello. Karen.
Oh, here's trouble.
Karen, Vincent.
Vincent's gone AWOL.
I'm in the kitchen. I'm in the kitchen doing the dishes at the moment. I'll be right back.
Good man.
Can you do my
in
dishes,
the kitchen
please?
Mylan, 3D Print Newbie, SBC 3D.
I do.
Matt, Andrew Osmond, hello. Stephen Poole, hello. Hello. Yeah, I was watching Kersey Fabrications earlier, and I'm sure most of you were. He was unboxing the Focus printer, and hope everything went well. And he was giving away some filament, so that was really cool to see. And then Chris Riley had David from Printed Solids on this morning, and they're doing a dual build on printers. That was nice to see. And I've been working on this and that, and I got a new board for my CNC from Comgro. For my CNC, the board was having issues. They sent me a new one. I got it put in, but I haven't started carving anything yet. So. And I've had garage door problems. My sister had a water leak, and my son had to replace his faucet, and there's been a lot going on this week.
Jerry's Mr. Fix It. Daddy to the rescue. Brother
Daddy to the rescue. So anyway, how's everybody doing? What's going on?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm good. Been doing little keychains for Focus company, the printer company, and yeah. I'm just downloading it to the server, and people can download it for free and make them.
Oh.
Okay.
I made one with a logo from Focus, and then I made like it says, I don't know if you can read it.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
I know I like you, Matt, but not that much.
Not that much, no.
Your 3D printing, is that what it says?
Yeah.
Got Focus 3D printer.
Cool.
Okay.
So, and
Our
this
talented
one.
man. I like that one.
Even a blind squirrel can find a nut. Okay.
Yeah, once in a while.
Yeah.
3D Medic Vince. Hello.
Hey, Medic Vince.
Half these guys were on my stream this morning.
They're still awake. They didn't put them to sleep. That's good.
No. It was a short stream, actually. It was just an hour and 15 or an hour and 20 minutes.
Now,
Because there's no calibration. There was nothing to do.
You are so mean to each other.
Yeah, what I was talking about that top, Liam, is I felt that if somebody opened it up real fast, you wouldn't realize how far it would go. You could instantly pop those hinges and crack it.
You could. I agree.
Far, and then I seen that accidentally fell shut on you. So.
Yeah, but there is, on both sides of it, where it comes down, there is actually cushioned grommets there, rubber grommets, that would actually take the blow. And as long as if it lands evenly, it's going to spread the load.
Yeah.
As Matt said, he's got printers like that, and he's dropped them a couple of times, and like he said, there's never an issue. But yeah, what I'm going to do at some point is I'm going to put a handle on the front.
Printing.
That way, then you don't have anything, you don't lose grip. Because grabbing the frame, you have a chance of losing grip. So, but it's still printing.
Awesome.
And it's
No time
cool
at
that
all.
You feel the filament coming in?
and it's Android based.
You have to just put it down.
Well, I've seen that they had different software, so I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it uses a version of Cura, or not Cura, sorry, of Prusa Slicer. Is basically what the UI is, right? But they've modified it, and they've only put in their builds only in there. But Prusa can do resins now, but they output a file that's unusual, an XJS file, which is unusual, but it works, but it is running on Android OS. The printer does. So basically, in the background, it's and it's got Wi-Fi built in, so I haven't even tried the Wi-Fi yet. And it's got built-in memory. So when you pick a file to play off the USB stick, it copies it to the local to the inside in the printer into its local memory, and prints from there. It doesn't read the USB stick after that.
So while it's printing, you could have pulled out the USB stick and wouldn't have
I realized that after. So now I will test it at some point to make sure, but it actually does. It actually tells you make a local copy of it.
Oh,
So it
that's
actually runs. Yeah.
Built over bot. That is correct. You always do it wrong, and you never get asked again. That is why I do not do laundry. I'm not allowed to do laundry. I did once. I decided to. Well, I was told to do the laundry, and included a red T-shirt in with the laundry, and all my singlets and skivvies came out pink.
Accidentally on purpose, Kieran, right?
Correct.
I do
And
my laundry.
I was told they are now pink. You will wear them. I didn't care because that became my rig crew bag, and so they always been offshore with me, and everything gets washed the same and always comes back brown. So I didn't really care. But never do laundry again. Do it wrong once, you never get asked again. Great way to do it.
I do my laundry. I do everything together. I don't separate whites from colors. I
Yeah,
wash
why bother?
everything
Yeah,
together.
why bother? It all comes out khaki in the end.
A certain distance needs to be a certain speed.
Those who are just chatting around in the background, you should mute them because it's causing audio over.
There we go.
Yeah,
That makes
Matt,
them.
Louise is
They
building.
can on mute when they come when they're ready to talk here because that background noise is actually causing a lot of.
He's trying
They're
to
coming on it, yeah.
build her focus print. Her focus.
If
So
anybody
Steve
else
and
wants to
Cindy are
pop
both
in,
on
there's a
today.
link.
Good.
So it's but it's printing away right now. Since I've gotten rid of since I've done all the toys and I've turned them all in.
That was an impressive display when you had them all out on the sheet there. That was a great video.
Yeah, I did a video of it as well, but I also did a photo to post in other areas because they can use that as well as part of their advertising, their marketing, you know, of what they do. But it's a good idea. That like I wanted to do more. They just started so late. If like I've asked them to start again if they can in January or February, because then I could hit it. I could dedicate machines to doing nothing but that, and just let it run continuously. Just let it run. Throw on a spool of material, let it run.
Thank you, Cindy.
And if I get my hands on a belt printer at some point, the belt printer will be 100% dedicated to that because that's the only reason I have for a belt printer is something like this. So I'd stick it on and let it go, and let it run continuously.
Yeah, you see, Chuck did the same smart belt printer. You got a preview of that one to have a look at.
Chuck Hallebuck.
Better wash your hands.
Just dropped the video this week. Yeah.
I might
I've
ping
seen
Chuck.
the thumbnail, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
I might ping Chuck because he lives a town over from me, and I might ping him if would he be interested in offering up a belt printer for that reason? Because I know he does production stuff, so he may not be able to. But
he was trying the SaneSmart. He got the pre-release on it. There's a few issues with the firmware they're working on, he was saying, but he said it made a much better job than the Corel one, a lot more consistent.
Well, see, you must remember that's pre-built in the factory. There's no assembly involved.
Yeah.
So there's no tweaking to it. It comes assembled. You take it out, you stand it, put on the spool holder, plug it in, and hit go. That's all you do with it, right?
It came with a feeler gauge. You had to tweak the feeler gauge for the offsets and that, but otherwise, a few issues at the start. But he said it came out great, and he's using it for his production line for his items he does, and it's perfect for it. Is that just painted, Jerry, or recent filled? It's just painted, isn't it?
I just painted it. After I stained it and everything, I went, I spray painted it, and I sanded it off, and I re-stained around where I sanded and re-clear coated it. Be sure your brain is running before you kick your mouth in gear.
What you could do is if you're going to paint it like that,
good things for y'all to think about.
Cover it with masking tape or painter's tape, and engrave it with the tape on it. Then paint all the areas you want with spray paint or whatever you want done. And then when you take the tape offwards, then all you've left is the outside finished surface. So you can actually stain or whatever the outside is you want to do first, tape it, then engrave it, then paint the part that was engraved out, like where there's no paper, and then scrape off the paper and you're done.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be so careful when you're painting it.
Well, I was planning on resin filling it, and then I thought about painting it with a brush. I said, no, I'm just going to spray it. But by doing it, then I had to redo my stain and my clear coat.
I thought Brandy wanted her name printed bigger, Jerry, on the sign. Didn't you redo the sign?
Our name is so
that's
much
the first
smaller.
one I did right there.
Yeah. But size isn't important, Brandy.
It is to me.
That isn't what you told me. That isn't what you used. Leave him crazy. It isn't
What you used to say.
tell me.
Dirty minds.
Hey, Blasco, how you doing?
We'll just leave that alone.
And now
Just
we
leave
have
that
you
alone.
led her right down that path.
What happened? We're supposed to be nice and clean.
We
And
were.
then-
We're just asking. It's it's just a
Bigger is better.
statement.
I'm from Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas.
I will not comment.
Moving right along. There we go. Nice dab there, Mini Vincent.
Dirty minds, dirty minds, dirty minds.
No, I
Yes.
thought of the biggest assholes come from.
No. So you must remember, they're not dirty
Sorry.
minds. We're men.
Exactly. I
There's
should
no,
have known.
there's no such thing. It's just
Hey, Dominic,
our
how you
mind.
doing?
That's how it
Just
works,
kidding,
right?
guys. I have nothing against Texas.
I hope not. Are we going to be friends?
I can make some comments about Texans, but I won't, so I'll leave that alone. Get me
A
into trouble.
few good men, I will say that one line.
Aaron, you're hurting my feelings.
Here's something else I'm working on.
Yeah, but there's so many other good states.
After
I
I
think
done
you-
these first 3 or 4 signs on NPC and C, it got out of whack, and the travel distance on X and Y,
That turned out
when I
really
would
good.
tell it to go 100 millimeters, it was going 150. Just that for some unknown reason, possibly the steppers on that little CNC board got out of whack. So I got a hold of Liam, and he helped me tweak it and get it set right.
Thank you
So I
for
made
your
2
help,
of these.
Master
I made
Printer.
2 unions. I'm going to be making some flags. Well, I'm going to individually cut the slats.
Have you
Stand
counted
them
your
and glue them all
stars there,
together.
Jerry?
There's
You counted
50
your stars?
I counted them. There's 50.
Yeah, exactly.
they're
Just
all-
I
checking.
count
Just checking.
51.
Yeah,
Brian, thank you for helping.
there's 50 and a bit. There's
Oh,
50 and a bit. I
Jerry,
think.
what I recommend you do is go into your machine, do $, capture the settings, and save them as a text file out. So if anything ever goes out of whack again, you can go back in and you have all the settings. You can just paste it back in there.
Yeah, but do you think when the travel changed, the $$ changed for that setting?
Because you hit the reset on the board, you said that could revert it back.
Here we go.
Yeah, that could be.
So by doing the $, and now that you have your settings, you store them as a file. Then you can go back in and play them back in.
You good?
Oh, and then Tom Llama, which is in
Andy
chat,
Lulu.
he sent me over a file, and I printed the shoe for it for my Makita at a TPU, like 35% infill. But my Makita, the mount for the Makita doesn't hang down far enough that I can put this on. So the mount is too tall. So I'd have to shorten the mount, cut it in half in order to use this. And I did have a lot of supports on it, which I had to dig off with the brushes. And by doing so, I tore one of the brushes. But it's
That's
still,
okay.
it's still
Not doing-
TPU.
yeah.
It's soft. It'll function if I can figure out how to go ahead and possibly mount this. But yeah, it came out really good. It took like 48 hours to print. It was printing on my Hypercube.
Nice.
So
Came out good.
Yeah, I love
yeah,
you too,
you did really
Llama.
good, Tom. Thank you.
Jerry, do you have a picture of Christmas tree?
You can always weld the fingers back on with a soldering iron, Jerry.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
weld
Well, the
some
one that I
fingers on it.
lost, the garbage already went out, and that one I had pulled off. But yeah, it was because it printed in this orientation.
Yeah, you can print a couple of just flat fingers and just glue them back on again with a soldering iron. That'll fix it.
Yeah, yeah.
You good? Good? Yeah,
I mean, it's not pretty. It's just functional. So it's just a couple of flat
You could
fingers.
actually print that as a solid ring and just go over it with a scissors afterwards and slice it.
Yeah.
Or a craft knife. That'll work too. Yeah.
You'll get the trash can.
But so that's other than that, but I would do that with yours. With Jerry, I would actually grab a copy of the settings
Dog,
and store it. Put it in a text file somewhere
you're
and keep
crazy.
it aside.
There's no room, Tom, to slide the router down. I've only got a 1/4 of an inch. I can slide it down. And then
That looks
barely,
super this way.
barely be sticking out the bottom. The mount.
Hot glue it on. Hot glue it on to the bracket.
Oh yeah, it's gonna make a rock.
If you hot glue it all the way around onto
Yeah,
the
maybe.
unit and hot glue it, then you can always take it off and clean it up later on.
Hi,
Oh,
Jamie.
hello. Hey,
Hey,
Jamie.
Jamie.
Hey, how are you, Jamie?
Missed you last week.
Oh, I had a model show.
How'd it go?
It went good. I was a judge, so I couldn't enter my own models. That kind of sucked.
And you have nice models.
Thank you. I did take them though and do them for display.
That's good.
So you basically what you said, you went to the other who were doing the models and said, "This is what you've done. This is what you should be doing. That's why you brought yours. Come on.
She's a judge. She's
That's
a
why
judge,
you're
lad.
showing
Yeah.
off.
No, there
everybody
were
has to
some.
learn.
There were
Everybody-
some dioramas of like ships and stuff that were tiny, and they were like, I mean, if they were a real ship, they were
You
like,
take that thing and you
battleships
sit on
or
here and
whatever,
I
you
put
know.
on that thing.
But they were so tiny. I did.
I'm just trying to remember where something got.
I took video. I didn't take any pictures.
Probably on that.
You printing an owl?
But you did videos.
That
though.
looks like
I
an
can't
owl
hear you
thing.
guys.
It looks like an owl thing.
Yeah. Matt,
Do you have any of the video? Is it on your phone or
Turn
on the
down
screen?
your
Were you
microphone
gonna share any
settings.
of it or no?
It's
Well-
on my phone, but my phone's on the charger because it died.
Okay.
I was out shopping and I was like, oh my god, it's almost 3:00.
like, see, same for me. Look,
Yeah.
my phone is so busy. I have to charge. I have to plug it in twice or 3 times a day.
If
Me
I
Are you
bring
too.
it in
sure?
this
I just play
room,
games on mine.
if I bring it in here, then I don't do anything else.
Mhm.
I'm like always checking
Ding,
notifications
ding,
and stuff.
ding,
So.
ding.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna have to Wi-Fi connect that other printer, that new resin printer now as well. I got the
Yeah, how are you? It's better now, my sound?
So,
Good cat.
Jamie, it's a 10.1. It's a 10.1 inch screen, 5K.
Wow. What is
Yeah.
it?
But size isn't important, Liam.
Ask Brandy. She says it does. It is.
Larry,
how
get here.
So it's a big build volume, and it's printing its test part right now. Where did she go? Oh, there you are.
Nice.
How you doing?
Ah!
How much hang down do you have from the router, from the mount down to the router?
Jerry.
Jerry,
Right now, I don't have anything underneath. I mean, it tapers at the bottom, so there's nothing exposed, and above it, I've only got about a
Oh,
quarter.
you
of an
have
inch.
that big, long, tall mount, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you got to get the open build C clamp mount.
It's got 4 bolts in it. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, that's strong, but you can get the open builds mount for like $20, which will. It's just a
Half
C
size.
clamp. Yeah.
Okay.
I just say
Yeah,
you
so
can hot glue it on.
For your setup, you need 2 of them. You need one upper and one lower.
Okay.
But you can get them right at openbuilds.com, or you can get them on Amazon, or
Well, when I built
Everybody
the
carries them now.
MPC, I'll go back on Thingiverse. They probably have a different mount, a different style that I could print for it. So
I wouldn't print it. I would get a nice aluminum mount. They're not expensive. They're only like $20. I have one around here, but it's for the DeWalt, not for the.
Well,
Nikita.
the back house I printed mounts 2 pieces of conduit at a 45,
Yeah.
and then it has a front mount that kind of sits in there, and you run the bolts through it. It's got the big saddle that holds the.
Yeah, it's about that freaking tall, and it's got 6 screws in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need that. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's kind of a lot of weight to carry around. More
Have you
than
printed,
anything else.
have you printed this at all yet?
Hey, Ron.
Have I printed that?
Yeah.
Well, I printed mine for mine. I just resized it for yours. I got it
that's
for an 80 millimeter.
This here is threaded. Now, if I do use this, I'll just get a smaller hose that will fit this. And besides, the smaller hose will move around more, and it won't bind
Yeah.
up the machine or restrict it. And then I can have my bigger hose on the outside.
Your regular
But
everyday
Brandy doesn't like
2-inch.
the color hose.
It takes a regular everyday 2-inch shop vac hose,
Okay.
and it's you don't
Down
have to
him,
use
down
the
him.
threading. Some of those hoses are threaded, so you can thread it in there and just hold it better. Otherwise, you just push it in there.
I'm glad you got that
Yeah,
comment.
that should fit right into it.
Yeah, don't
No.
forget we have to climb
No,
up
you
to the
gotta take
gutter.
the hose, not the mouth. The hose.
Oh, if I take it off, you mean?
Yeah, the hose will screw right into it. It's reverse threaded. Most of those are.
This hard plastic piece screws into the hose, and this piece is
Yeah.
threaded.
Take the hose right out of that hard plastic piece. The hose will unscrew from that. It's reverse threaded. You got to do it counterclockwise, not clockwise. And then screw that right into that mount.
Okay, I'll have to play with it, but I understand what you're saying.
And screw the hose directly into it. And you can just push it right in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's threaded just to give it a little more grip. but it
Put a
doesn't.
little lube on it.
Shouldn't he be able to, like, temporarily, if it does, like with what he has, if he hot glues all the way around, that would hold it, because the amount of pressure on that is very little, right?
No, because it would hang too low, and then it would just
It's a clearance
pop
thing.
off.
Well, it should be just touching the top of the surface of the materials where you're shooting.
Yeah, but that's just it. If he hot glues that on there, it's down 2 or 3 inches plus the fingers. Yeah,
He's lost. His mount is too long for that adapter to fit in clean. He needs a shorter mount.
The holding mount for the router.
yeah. The holding mount's supposed to go up or 2 or 3 inches onto the actual router, and that's what holds it where it's TBU.
So his mount comes down too low for the clearance to get that in. There's an offset. Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
The hairs are the right clearance.
Yeah, needs a shorter
Which you
mount.
printed upside down, but that's all right. I actually flipped it over when I printed it. You printed it with the hairs on the bed, right?
I imported it the way it is. And
Yeah, I didn't even think to tell you that. I print it like that.
Yeah.
Invert this.
Well, do I want all the supports here, or do I want them? Do I want them here? Or do I want them under here? So I just went ahead and left it. By doing that, all the supports look just like these hairs, and I had to rip them out with needle nose pliers, and that's where I wound up tearing one of them. So.
Well, that's why Idea Maker is really good, because if you use Idea Maker's, I want to say circumference. What the hell is it? The support structure. Idea Maker has concentric supports, so the supports will follow the shape instead of just being any old place like every other slicer does. So it actually supports where it needs to support.
Yeah, Idea Maker support are fantastic.
Yeah, that's the number one reason I went to Idea Maker, is because the supports, even back when they first started and you had to hack it. Because when I first started using it, you had to hack one of their printers to make it work with your printer. You'd go in and take one of their printers, pull it out, edit the actual code, and then stuff it back into the app. And then it would run your printer. But their support smoked anything. Even they were better than Simplify 3D back in the day.
I can't
concentrics.
I think Raise 3D needs to get Idea Maker and add the ability to do resin printers, because it does phenomenal work when it comes to FDM. If they could do the same work they do on the resin, it'd be amazing.
I don't see them doing it. They're over their heads with it. They're not. They've gotten too far into it where it's costing them money to maintain it now.
Yeah, but it's for their equipment, and as features, it's for their printers.
For their equipment. Doing all the external crap like we all use.
They don't have to, because if they...
No, they don't. Which means they're not going to do resins. They don't have resin printers.
Yet.
They don't have belt printers. They don't have, and yet here they are, supporting other printers.
The community can build stuff for it.
Hey, Denny, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Well, they're not open source either. That's the one.
They're not, no. But they're not open source on their code, but they do have a huge community following to build functionality for printers, and they build profiles and all this kind of stuff.
And I'll tell you what, they are the fastest. I've made 3 suggestions over the last 5 years, and within a month or two, it's in the update beta, and another month or two, it's an actual.
They're
anything. If you make a suggestion that actually makes sense, they will outright incorporate it immediately, as fast as they possibly can.
I'm going to ask them to add in paint.
The camera's over here, Brandy. There you go.
Is your tree up already, Brandy?
Oh, that's pretty.
It's not even close shooting yet. Take that thing down.
Yeah, I think
I'm putting my tree up.
I like the feature in Prusa that they've added where you can actually paint an area and assign that area to another extruder for IDEX machines. They need to add that to Idea Maker, because they already have the best IDEX supported software slicer out there, but they need to add that ability where you can paint an area like Prusa Slicer recently added, and you can say this area selected gets assigned to extruder 2.
Yeah,
and you can actually color your prints based on that.
The painted supports too, because their supports are awesome, but they are a pain in the butt sitting there clickety if you got to do a large area or delete a large area. The Prusa Slicer, that's why I don't know if you guys have been noticing, but I've been playing with Prusa Slicer. And that's the only reason is because you can literally just take your mouse and paint it, and that's where the supports will be. But it's still a Prusa slicer with their stupid raft, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's not a raft; it's a first layer." It's a freaking raft under your supports.
Hey,
That's what
Ron,
it is.
no video.
No video.
I have
Your
a whole
Runs
video
in the dark.
that I made for
There you go.
Your audio's
Prusa
fine.
supports for resin printers.
Now we got something. We're getting there.
What?
We can hear you.
Hey, Ron.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Jamie.
Oh, I'm here.
No, I made a whole video on doing supports for resin printing in Prusa Slicer because
Yeah, resin's a different story.
it beats everything. I don't
Prusa
use
Slicer.
anything except Prusa Slicer for supporting, and then I slice in Chicha Box. But
Test
yeah,
it.
I've not had a failed print in
Why don't you slice it
In
Prusa?
resin,
over a year.
yeah, an FDM.
Why
Their
don't you slice a
FDM
Prusa slicer then?
suck.
What, Matt, what, Liam?
Why do you not slice in Prusa slicer for FDM?
Because I prefer. I don't use it for FDM. I use Cura.
Oh, so sorry, for resin. Yeah, but no. So why don't you use Prusa slicer for slicing then?
I don't know that Prusa will do the right.
It won't. A lot of them won't.
They have
read the file.
Prusa slicer supports resins now.
Yeah, but it won't. Most of the
Right.
printers won't read that same file format.
It's got to be a specific file format for like my Anycubic printers have a
Cool.
specific file format. The Creality, don't even get me
Blah.
started.
Sorry, Matt. Sorry,
Yeah,
Matt.
The one that I have, the printer I have, the GK1, the new one, uses Prusa slicer for its slicing.
All
but
right,
they
now what is
wrote
the
their
board?
own add-on to export the XJS file.
Bad enough.
They use a specific file type of XJS.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like
Ziggy,
Creality.
turn lights on.
Well, they're running an
Echo.
Android.
Turn lights on.
It's
They're
an
running what?
Android OS.
Ah,
Sort of, Ron. You're good.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron.
Ron, how are you?
so you could.
I'm in now. I'm good. Thank you.
You could print from your phone. Not that anybody would want to do that. There's
If you had a software that would slice on a phone with the right file type output, yes. But
Yeah, I prefer
it is
keyboards
an
and
Android
monitors.
OS. They're an Android operating system on that printer.
that's pretty cool.
The UI is completely different because when you go to choose your file, it gives you a Linux command line where it mounts your USB stick. It's a
Now, one thing-
Linux naming convention, so you can
One thing I
tell by
wanted
that.
to say real quick, and then we'll move on to Denny and Ron. But last week, Shane, I asked him about his MPC and see if he's happy with it or he might want to get something else. And he said a print NC. This morning, last night, I seen a video on a print NC. Have you seen that? That's
No.
unbelievable. I hate to think how much it costs to build, but it's got great big steel channel, like 2x4 steel channel, big long lead screws. Steppers are NEMA 23s, really huge steppers. It's water cooled. Unbelievable how huge these things are.
Yeah.
And they're scratch builds, but I hate to think what it costs to build one.
The water cooled spindles are expensive,
Yeah. Yeah, I seen
but
some
they're
videos
almost
on YouTube
silent.
called a
But
print
you don't even hear them.
a print NC. Unbelievable how massive these CNCs are. I mean,
Yeah,
just-
but their water cooled systems, you don't hear the spindle spinning up. Like when you turn on yours, it sounds
Yeah.
like a jet engine over your head inside the room, right?
yeah.
These things, they run silent. You barely hear them at all. What's his name? Zach has one, and he has it inside in his house in an enclosure, and he turns on his spindle, and you don't even hear it running.
Yeah.
They're silent running. They're fantastic.
I think Llama pulled one up on a screen, probably, right? Llama, you looking at them?
What?
Print NC.
No, I was actually looking at Lightning Tracker because we are getting, I don't know if you can hear it, but we're getting bombed right now. It's like every 10 seconds, lightning strike.
It's really weird.
Storming and windy and wham.
Only once in my life in Vegas, I was going somewhere in my truck and it was lightning really bad. I turned around and I went home. It was just crazy bad all over town once years ago.
It's pretty gnarly out there. It's bizarre too because the sky's like all bright red and it's windy and raining. And it was like gorgeous day today. It was like 60 degrees, which is unheard of in November.
So, what are you up to, Denny? What's going on?
See, you just saw the flash.
Not much. I've been printing a lot now since I can fix that problem. I haven't had any issues.
Yeah, last week you had a problem, and then I think after the stream you had another problem. You got a hold of Liam, and he helped you work through it.
Yeah, it's working. He's operating now.
Oh, good.
Oh
good.
my God! You got help from Liam, you poor bastard.
Badge.
We didn't set the good man to have him around.
Oh, fine, perfect.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I finally figured out how to do the 2-layer.
Oh yeah, pause that layer and do a change. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
I
you-
figured
did
it out.
you-
I watched a YouTube video on how to do it. And I'm like, oh, that's easy.
Yeah,
Did
you
you
do
still
it in
get
Cura.
a small
You
blob?
just have to swap out the filaments at the right time.
Yeah, but you can do that in your slicer. What you do is you figure out the layer height. You move your slicer when you slice it. You move the line. You move the slicer up to find the layer where the text stops, and then you get that number, and then you go into the slicer. So you do a pause that layer, and you add that in Cura, and it will actually print the first part, stop and park the head, and wait for you to come along and you load the filament and you load the white, and then you go off and do the white part.
Oh, so it does it itself in the slicer?
You can, yeah. Let me open Cura on my machine. I can show you.
I've got it here on the screen, Liam. Hang on.
Oh, you
I've
have
got
it. He can
something
show
else.
you.
I've got it. Hang on. Let me just share the screen.
Share up his screen there, Jerry.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Hang
left
on.
the
Let me just
printer
bring it up. Where are
I
we?
left,
Where are we? Where's Cura?
I left the pen on the pen. How that works. Came out perfect.
Yeah, you can either do a filament change or a pause that layer. The best one is to do a pause that layer, and then it'll change out the filament, and then just do a resume. There we go.
Yeah. So in Cura, you've got under when you have your model sliced. So this is what I was doing last week to get my heights right. You can see I've got letters on there.
Yeah.
So the letters start at layer 6. So I want to pause at layer 5 to do my filament change. So
I do it as
under
layer 6 is what I would do.
No.
And
This
one
is-
more
this is
layer
the-
of the other color.
No, I always do it right on that change point. It's fine.
Okay.
So layer 6 is the new color. This is just an example. So under you see I've got a red star here, a red number 1, because I've added a post-processing script. So under Cura, under extensions, post-processing, modify G-code, you can add a script. And down here, you've got pause at height.
Oh, okay.
So, but don't use height, because if you've got Z-hop, it can actually get flagged by Z-hop and change prematurely. So you change that to layer. So I want to change color on the 6th layer. So pause at the end of layer 5. You put that in. Where do you want to park your head? I always park my head at the front, so 0, 0. And now close that, and then you reslice it. And what it does is in the actual G code. Let me just swap screens. Oh, hang on, you see it here. In the G code, it adds a post-processing pause at height insert into the script.
Yeah.
But
Hey there.
there is a bug in Cura. I won't say it's a bug, but whenever it actually does the slice, the last thing it does before pulling off the model is it does a retraction. So you can see here, my E-step, the last E-step in the model is 159. Then it retracts to 156, which is 3.5 millimeter retraction, which is my default retraction, which is fine. But when it restarts, the first thing it does will always go back to where it came off and actually ooze 3 mils. So I always go into the file here and edit it to have my last retraction removed. So instead of being 1.5, I've edited it to 159 so it doesn't pull back and then reuse 3 mils. So that always stops it oozing at the start of the next model. So the last E-step, the model finishes, it does a retraction of 3.5 in mine, it may be 6.5, your default retraction. It always puts in the default retraction before it pauses, and then before it starts printing again, it resets the retraction back to your last retraction. So it'll always ooze that retraction amount. So I always edit the file. So last extension of filament, cancel out the retraction. So you just make sure you just get that first little dribble out, and then they got a very small ooze at the start, and that fixes it. But otherwise, it will basically end of layer 5. you can change your filament, and the next layer 6 it'll move back and start the next layer on the next color.
Oh,
I
okay.
like to do one layer of the base color of text.
Just to make
Because
sure
now
you've got it
again-
right. Yep.
But sometimes though, what happens is the nozzle might come out, and if you don't have your settings perfect, you might end up dragging across the surface. So by doing one layer of red, now you're one layer above. So when the nozzle
Yep.
moves in, there's no chance of it leaving any trails on the surface.
Yeah, that's a safety thing as well, but so it works
Yeah.
fine. It took me ages to work out why, whenever it went back, it always left a blob, and then I went to look at the G code and found it's the retraction distance. It always puts that back after you've changed filament, and it always does that.
Liam's printer is like a dog dragging his butt in the grass.
I'm
How's it going,
freezing.
Ron? What have you been up to?
I'm cold. My basement's cold. Wintertime around here, temperature outside get cold. But I got nothing printing right now. I'm getting ready to do a bunch of Christmas stuff that I got lined up. But I've had some situations with a buddy of mine. He's in and out of the hospital, so I've been spending a lot of time with him and taking care of Judy, of course, and making sure she's doing all right.
Uh-huh.
But printing's kind of slowed down. But I've got too many printers now. I don't have to keep printing all the time because I can get more stuff done with more printers.
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
But yeah.
It's good today, Ron. Got a good connection.
I know. I'm on my iPad. I'm not on my computer
Okay.
with my webcam. I got to get that all straightened out. I'm just starting to print right now.
Wow. Tripod's Garage. Thank you very much for the $4.99. You're awesome, buddy. Thank you.
Astro no.
There we
Thanks,
go.
John.
I'll show you
Thank you.
if I
Hold on,
can.
Debbie.
Llama, bite me. It's a Kiwi accent.
I don't know how to turn my camera around.
Being
There's
nice.
normally,
see.
you tap the screen, there should be an option in there with an image of a camera with arrows around it.
It's just really close to
Yeah.
the same accent. I just noticed it. It's a little more slow in the Bostons.
There we go. Yep.
Almost. Uh-oh.
Now we swapped over.
You
There we
lost
go.
you, Ron.
Yeah, just as he swapped it, you must have click, kill. Yeah, he'll be back in a second.
He'll be back.
Yeah, Jerry, I printed this. I don't know if I showed you.
Yep.
Oh, from those
Christmas-
decorations. Okay. Nice. Oh, cool.
Nice.
Oh,
Did
that's
you-
awesome.
Did you
Those are cool.
Is Brandy got you printing out the geek ones?
I haven't printed anything for Brandy yet.
He's not being nice,
I
Karen.
went on Pulse and I bought that. Man, I finally found it. That one I was looking for.
Oh, cool.
When it sits on your access, and it sits
Yep.
there and watch your print. That's what I was looking
Spins,
for.
yeah.
Hey,
No,
Tripod.
Colts is good.
Ron's back.
Okay, I'm
There he is.
back in.
Want to try it again?
Thingiverse.
There we go.
I think there we go.
That's what
right.
I use now.
I got what this is. That's not going to stick. I got to stop that. I'm making some more of these. Oh, table risers for my.
Almost.
Well, I just put that one in. This one here, this one over here, it's solid. It ain't going nowhere. I can shake that printer. I can't shake the printer. It's stuck. I super glued this to the. I got a piece of slate here from a pool table, and I
Nice.
super glued these to it, and super glued my printer to the top of this, and she's solid.
But here's
It works,
the
you know.
Operation there.
If you ever need it,
Yeah.
here's the question.
I can get up underneath here. I don't
How
have
you
to
gonna
bend
get
down.
access to the main board when you glue the leg onto the panel.
Well, yeah, I'd have to pop it loose to get a hold of that.
Ron, you got cats?
Yeah.
Okay, now they can get under without knocking your printers off. They can go to sleep.
No, they can't knock them off. They ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
I'd have to hit that pretty hard to knock it off. Now this one, it's not solid, so don't want to shake it around. But I've got most of them up on pedestals, except the FL Sun here. It's too tall to put up on one.
Yeah, I wouldn't put that on the pedestal.
I've got these two back here. Yeah, I'm gonna. One of them's not mine. This is a buddy. He bought that. He's just leaving it here for now. But this one here is mine. I'm gonna raise it up on pedestals. So that way I don't have to bend down. So my back is just so bad. I get down on my knees, but I can't bend over so easy. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if I did that, it's just somewhere for where I could actually stash more crap and not be able to find it later on.
True.
Yeah, that's my problem too. I lose stuff all the time.
I'll put it down here. I'll find it later. You come back a week later, you won't be able to find anything because there's stuff under some printer somewhere.
Put it in a
Well,
safe spot and then forget where that safe spot's at.
Yeah, it's so safe you can't find it anymore.
I cleaned up my area real well and moved everything, and now it's starting to get messy again.
Well, I need to do that in MySpace. Now that I'm done with the toys, I need to move on and clear the space up afterwards.
You're done printing toys, Liam?
I am for now. I'm probably going to start doing Care Bears, and give them to the cancer hospitals.
Congo sent me out a new CNC board for my board that went bad on a little CNC, and here's a baggie that it came in when they sent it out. But at least I have one, so it's in now. Right before the stream, I got it installed. When the stream's over, I'll do a test sprint and see if it's working okay.
Did you ever notice that Jerry unbagged that like a drug addict undoing his drugs?
How would you know, Troy? Lama?
Oh God, I was a druggie in high school and college, man. I was a freaking pothead, cokehead. I did it all, man.
That explains so much.
And yet, for you, there's no explanation.
No, I was born this way.
Yeah,
but it has been tested,
that's
so
not
it's okay.
even.
I was just born weird.
Yeah, you got drunk on your.
Exactly.
That's what I
Most of the
wanted to
time
say
it didn't
too.
work.
I got hit in the head when I was about 5 with the big old thermos. Knocked my noggin pretty loose for a while.
Ow.
Yeah, my son still has a big lump on his head right here, and his little kid at the babysitter's, he fell off a chair on their back patio and busted his head on the concrete, and it swelled up, and he still has a lump there to this day. He's 33.
It's probably the bone that's swollen. That's why
Damage
it's like
from the
that.
pressure, yeah, so it's just growing back thicker.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a swollen head, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and my sister I was 6 and I was probably 5 and she was 6. And we was each on each side of the bed and we was throwing this thermos back and forth, and she caught me in the top of the head. I ended up getting 5 stitches, and my mom said there's a big old puddle of blood when she came up and found it.
No.
And they won't do it today, but when on our time, the parents their response would be, "Did that knock any sense into you now?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah, today if that happened, they'd probably take my mom to jail or something for a while and talk to her.
DHS would be doing
Sure.
and all kinds of
Yeah, they'd be in there in a heartbeat. Ooh,
I remember
man,
being a
it's
kid.
cold.
No,
My brother's like, I'm going to stick this screwdriver in the outlet. My mom's like, no. My father's like, no, let him do it. Let him do it.
Only way to learn.
You'll never do
Yeah,
it.
you-
Oh, that's for
You
sure.
learn
But
once.
that's a waste
Well,
of a
no,
perfectly
no.
good screwdriver, Llama. It's a waste of a screwdriver.
Dominic, I'm not in the area where there's a problem with drinking water. I remember I didn't grow up here.
Shrimp,
Yeah.
shrimp and stuffies. What's the stuffy, Llama?
What's a what?
Stephen Paul's having shrimp and stuffies for dinner. What's the stuffy?
I've never heard of
Yeah.
stuffies.
Never heard of stuffies. You mean like
I don't-
stuffed shrimp?
Here's a question. Do we want to know? Because I know by the name, and I'm sure I do.
Stuffies are. What are stuffies?
I'm trying to think what would go with shrimp. Like
Stuffed shrimp.
There you go.
Everything goes in
Nothing. I'm allergic.
stuffed
Quart hogs? No, never done that.
I don't know what a quart hog
Stuffed
is.
quahog. What's a quahog?
Stephen,
Wow.
speak English.
Take a picture.
It's a clam.
It's a what?
Oh, okay.
Oh.
How do you
Okay.
stuff a clam?
You never had stuffed
I know,
clams?
they're about this size. There's not much you can put in there.
No.
Clams come in big, massive. You can get
No, you-
monster.
Well, the
I've had
shells
fried-
are big.
I've had
Breadcrumb them
fried clams
and,
and I've had smoked. No, that was smoked oysters. Fried clams. That was it.
I'm allergic to shellfish and stuff, so I can't eat them.
I love smoked oysters.
Liam,
I love
you're
oysters
missing
too.
all
I love
good
all that.
shrimp and
I can't do oysters. That's too snotty.
I like
No, I
it.
Never tried
Yeah.
oysters.
I don't like
I
shellfish.
can't do
Mayonnaise and a
oysters.
pickle.
For Thanksgiving, I'm making an oyster casserole.
With
It's
an oyster
crackers and
crack, he
oysters
said.
and butter. And that's really good. Oyster
You know-
Festival, really good.
You know it's really good.
Hi, Jason.
If you're into holiday drinking, it's doing a clam shooter where you take a really small cherry stone and you put it in a shot glass with a little bit of cocktail sauce and some vodka. And you just go. And it is.
What you do is you put the vodka in the glass, ignore the oyster, ignore the Tabasco sauce, just drink the
Ignore
vodka.
everything else but the
Yeah.
vodka.
Drink
You
the
see,
vodka.
here's so here, like if you add anything to alcohol, that's alcohol abuse. How dare you?
I add everything to alcohol.
No,
Alcohol
you add
goes good with
okay.
everything.
I don't drink anymore, but I used to, and the motto is you add alcohol to yourself. You don't add anything to the alcohol because that's alcohol abuse.
Aren't you
That
Irish?
is
William?
alcohol abuse. To
Sorry?
do that with a drunk.
Aren't you Irish?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, that's why you.
Hey, Rich, how you doing?
You don't believe Irish don't believe in mixing anything. They just want their whiskey.
Yep.
Hey, Louisiana hobby guy.
Nasty.
No, I.
Some people
like,
would say their wives drive them to drink, but mine's mean. She makes me walk.
that's good.
That was good.
That's
I
good.
like that. I never heard that one before.
There you go.
I like that.
Yeah, no, it's
Steal that one.
I used to keep alcohol in my shop here, and I can't find it.
I got booze all over the place.
Maybe you drink it all.
No, I don't. It's just a bottle of isopropyl alcohol. I was gonna-
Oh, I got that.
yeah. You better not be drinking that stuff.
No, it's not good to drink that. I don't know where my
not
bottle
if you
is,
wanna pay a
though.
visit to the ER.
I've been in the hospital enough this week, and not even for myself. I don't like hospitals.
The Louisiana hobby guy is in chat. That's Mr. Lightburn. He knows an awful lot about Lightburn, has a great channel, a lot of great videos. I've learned a lot from the
He's
man.
right now. Must be training his office.
Yeah, he's working out back on his building. He's gonna
Well, I guess the storm's over.
For now.
No, they were saying it was going to be like a 1 hour thing. It was going to be real hard and heavy for an hour.
They're talking about
They said that
snow
this
here
morning.
tomorrow.
We should snow here in Vegas.
Vegas doesn't know what snow is, do you?
On some
Yeah,
parts
this-
of town, it
it's
snows
snowed
out.
in
Like where
Vegas. It
Jason
has
lives
snowed.
out
Yep.
south, and there's the outskirts of Vegas. It'll snow.
Like Mount Charleston, you do.
It rarely snows where I live at. It's really rare. Like once every 10 years, it'll snow here, maybe 3 or 4 inches deep, maybe every 10 years.
Okay, well, I've been here 11.
We get ice.
Well, Michigan is one of these areas. Like we have a city here in Michigan called Hell. It's a small little place called, and the name of the city is Hell. So in Michigan, Hell literally freezes over.
Cool.
You live in Arkansas.
I found my
right?
alcohol.
Me?
You live in Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
We get freezing rain. That's what we get. And then it coats the trees, and all my trees break, and it's not cool.
We get that. We get snow. We get ice. We get everything.
I remember
says
years
there's
ago,
2 feet of
out
snow.
on the
That's a
north
lot.
end of town, one side of the street, when I went down the street, there was snow in the driveways on one side of the street. The other side had nothing in it. By the way the sun was coming up or something, snow was over there, but not over here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that will happen on the west side of the street when the sun shines on the west side before the east side.
yeah.
Yeah, the sun, the snow will melt off. Yeah. No, but we get overnight we've got 18 inches of snow in one night.
Wow.
Awesome. Yeah, you're always welcome, Rich. We'd love to have you on.
8 whole inches? Wow.
Right here.
No,
Hey, Ron,
18.
I have the same printer as you.
We get that on occasion. Not often.
Yeah.
Every couple of years, we get a
Well,
really bad snowstorm.
Here in Michigan, it kind of happens. We'll get 1, maybe 2 good snowstorms in the winter, where we'll get that much snow. Our average is about 6 to 8 inches where I live.
Yeah, once it starts snowing in January, it doesn't warm up till like mid-April.
Yeah, March, end of March or April. Yeah, that's our norm. January is our coldest month.
Snow stuff.
But they're saying this year is going to be warmer than normal. By warmer, I mean a little bit warmer than it usually is.
Did you cut open a persimmon tree?
Hey Jerry,
Yeah.
where is that 3D printer store in the mall? Where's that at?
Oh, that's Navarre.
Navarre 3D Printing in Navarre, Florida. That's Trevor's store.
Yeah.
and he sells quality returns on his Facebook group also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
His store is nice.
Yeah, he's got a nice
video?
setup. Trevor does.
You guys want to see the video?
And he's probably listening right now, so I'll sing his praises because.
He's launching a helicopter right now.
Oh no, that was this morning.
That was last week, I thought.
No, that was this week.
No, the day was wrong. He didn't do it last week.
Yeah, he posted pictures a while ago. I saw pictures on his Facebook a while ago about him doing it.
Did he do a good job?
I don't know. If he does jump in, I'll tell him, "Oh, you missed the spot."
Tripod says getting snow tomorrow.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
yeah. Well, whatever they get, we get pretty much because we're both side by side.
No. 31 degrees Celsius is the forecast for today.
So it
That's
does
about what I got.
So
It's
it does
cold
say
here.
Celsius.
Oh,
Right now,
Celsius.
no, that's 31 Fahrenheit is what I got.
That's
We
like
are-
That's about
we're-
1
we're-
Celsius.
where are you? Where are you, Ron?
31 is negative.
Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay, well, we're 37 right now,
25.
and tonight we'll go down to. Let me see.
Go Big Red.
Go Big Red. They ain't doing worth the crap.
Yeah, we might get snow tomorrow.
Cold now.
But it's been cold here now for the last week or two.
Dollar Tree keeps canceling your orders. Yeah, I ordered some Dollar Tree cutting boards like a month and a half ago. They came in, they billed me about 2 weeks ago, and I'm waiting for them to hit the store so I can pick them up.
Yeah, I have slate, but when I'm doing my slate coasters, I do them in my CO2 laser because it does it way faster. It's way faster with the job to do them on.
There's what it is right now.
42. Okay, well we're colder than you right now. We're at 36.
Y'all are just.
Yeah, you're a little north of me, though.
All right,
Yeah.
I gotta go start thinking about dinner.
All right, well, thank you for stopping in, Llama. Thank you for these files. I
Okay.
appreciate it. I'll make it
Yeah,
work.
no problem. We'll figure out a way to get it on there one way or another, or get something, and we'll make another one.
I need to make a cyclone next for the 5-gallon bucket so my shop back don't have all the crap going straight in.
I got one of those too.
Yeah,
It's
I've
up
never
on
designed one. Have you
it's up on
printed it and tried it?
things and- Yeah, I use it. That's what I use.
So your shop back hooks up into it, and then it hooks up and it catches most of your sawdust?
Yeah, I'm
debris
not
and
using
drops
the
it
shop
out.
vac, but yeah. And it just
Okay.
you mount it to a bucket and it cyclones it out. And it
Okay.
uses the
Louisiana,
2-inch
I'll be
hose, the standard vacuum hose too.
Okay.
Got the same connector that does.
I've got a long pool hose. You know when you clean a pool and you put the big long pool
Yep,
hose
that's
on it?
perfect. That's the
I have
exact
one of those
right
in my
diameter.
Okay.
You do? Where is
Perfect
it?
diameter.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping in. Appreciate it. You're always welcome.
Yep.
That look pretty.
That one's sticking
Yeah.
there. That one's nice first layer. Good first layer.
Coasters come out.
Little bit of board going on there. I got another one going over here. It's got a nice first layer on it.
Dominic,
This is
what
good.
laser are you using?
What's that?
No, sorry, I'm
Oh.
Dominic and Chaz asked the question.
Oh,
What laser are you using first of all? The diode laser, is it? Jerry, you know?
What
I'm
Dominic's
not
laser
sure.
is.
They came out looking gold.
It comes out goldish color because it's not burning enough.
Burning.
Because what you're doing is you're heating and fracturing the
Slate
stone.
coasters on an
You're on
Oturo.
the Artour. I would say I would run it. I would run it slower.
It's on slate. It's on slate, not timber.
Slate stone, yeah. I would run it slower.
To make it hotter.
Well, yeah, so it actually burns, so it actually fractures more of the surface. It's not actually going to vaporize the stone. It's basically
No,
fracturing in tiny areas, shattering it, like it does. It does the same on glass.
So I have a question for y'all.
I got an answer for you.
What do y'all know about, and is it any good? The K40.
Love it. I have a K40. Jerry has a K40, and they're great machines.
There's a
Will
lot
it
of
cut acrylic?
Yes,
Okay.
like
no
butter,
problem.
like a hot knife through butter.
Awesome. Okay.
You bait,
I've been looking for kind of a budget.
Go through OM Tech
I'm
in California, because OM Tech in California they do QA on the machine here before they ship it to you, and they do a few other tweaks to it to optimize it, right? and then you need to have external fume extraction to blow the fumes outside. I would recommend buying an inline fan that you put into like a dryer conduit to bring it out. And I would also recommend you need water cooling for the system.
The water pump that comes with it, I went ahead and used it, and I put it in a 5-gallon Home Depot bucket, and at the moment it works fine. But to see the water actually going through the laser and the tube, I bought a little wheel like they have on the Facebook groups where the water runs through it, it turns, and you can see it, because you don't want it to not be working, and you're using your laser and you burn your tube up because water wasn't flowing.
Right.
You got to buy a small air pump. So there's other things you have to do, but a K40 is a great little machine. It has a fairly small cutting area, but it will cut acrylic with no problem. That compared to a diode is night and day. But a diode will do a lot of pretty and fancy pictures, a lot of things that a K40 or CO2 won't do very well. But it depends what you want to do. But as far as for speed, it's like night and day comparing the two.
Okay.
How big an area do you want to cut?
Will the K40 engrave acrylic also?
Yes, it will. Yeah.
Okay. I'm wanting to make silicone molds, and to do
For the
that,
box work. Just get the boxing up. Yeah.
I need
Randy,
to
show her the light.
cut acrylic, because acrylic
Which
is the
light?
smoothest thing and is going to give me
In front of you.
Clean release.
the best clean surface to pour silicone on to make.
Turn on the light.
K40.
Yeah,
It's really hard to push the button.
That's engraved on the K40.
Yeah, I need to just get that one.
Ultramotion says you got to paint the acrylic or just use
No.
tape on it.
Yeah,
You,
there you go.
you have to paint it for a diode laser. You don't have to for a CO2.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Okay, that was already cut out. I bought that shape on Amazon. I bought 2 of them. But once
you
I got my
wished it.
setting right, the second time I tried it, it cut perfectly on the reverse side, reverse image, and it worked great. I had my
my
settings
goodness.
wrong on the first cut. I talked to Liam. He said, "Why don't you try this and this?" And I did, and it cut it perfectly, etched it.
I see.
Instantaneously.
You can get a discount at the moment off FlashForge because Neil Packard Harris and Printing Nerd did a video this morning. You get $500 off their pro version.
Yeah, but here's the issue with the FlashForge, right? There's a few issues with FlashForge.
Apart from the $4,000 price tag, yeah.
Outside of the $4,000 price tag, you have to be online because their slicer is cloud-based.
Yeah, that was
and
about
you
that was
have
what I was
to
about to say.
be
The
online
only
for it to
issue
work.
with it is you can't do it locally. No cloud, no
I
working.
think it's go off, Jerry.
So what I do is,
Hey there, Milan.
there's a few changes here. The CO2 is absorbed by plastic diode,
Hey,
not so much.
Secret
Correct.
JP, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
So
How you're getting on?
for Jerry, right? When you're doing the acrylic on a diode laser, you can engrave the surface of it, but you have to color it because visible light. The diode laser is visible light; it passes right through the plastic, right? The K40
Exactly.
is a CO2, so it's beyond outside our visual range, and it is correct. Well, Coach is correct. It's absorbed by us. That's why it can actually cut or engrave it. Now, the FlashForge, besides its $4,000 price point, which is it's nice, but it's very expensive, and that doesn't include water cooling, and that doesn't include a
Or
fuel
the extraction. Or the
I
extraction.
know,
No,
that's
the
just the
add-ons.
base unit, right?
Yep. Yep.
So you're talking about $5,000 for the full kit.
Yep.
A
Yeah,
CO2 for
No.
for $550 or $600, you can have a
Much better
CO2
value.
You'll have
that
everything
doesn't have
you
a
need.
camera. Now the big difference here, the FlashForge has a camera built in, so you can actually see the work area you're working on. The standard the stock K40 does not have that. What Jerry has done, and I did not do, is he put in a what was the board again?
A Gerbil board. It's called a mini Gerbil. It was
Yeah,
like
a
80
mini
bucks.
Gerbil board.
And then I
And
took
that's
a
the
regular
camera.
camera off one of my printers, and I put a camera inside the lid. So when the lid is open, I can look at my work on my desktop in Lightburn if I choose to. I usually don't, but I can. And then I got a camera in the room next to where Brandy's sitting, so I can monitor it if I'm not watching it burn to make sure nothing crazy is happening. I can monitor it from a distance.
And the other
Doesn't
thing you
the
can do,
K40 come with a glass?
An
it comes
enclosure.
in a case. In a case,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
It's an
Comes with
enclosed
an
case.
enclosure.
Brandy, turn on that light and flip cameras. Turn on the light in the next room, and one of the bottom buttons, I think it's the last button on the bottom, will change to that room if you flip the light
Yeah,
on. So you can
Jerry's
see it.
going to show you his K40. So What you'll be doing is getting the same setup as what it has, but you have to the extractor going out, and then you have to have the water cooling that you have to add, the bucket of water and stuff like that you have to add, and it's best to use distilled water rather than
well, obviously it's
regular
not
tap
that
water.
water.
Yeah.
Regular
And
tap
not-
water has got elements in it.
Not a water antifreeze mix.
No, just plain water. You can do a small bit of what's it called,
Anti-fungicide.
an
Bactericide.
anti-fungicide in a small amount in the
I
water.
put a little tiny bit of bleach in it.
Yeah,
The same stuff they use in fish tanks, just a few drops, just to
the
clean
fish
it.
tank stuff is what I prefer, and it stops mold growing in the water, right?
Maybe
it's
that
warm.
camera's not hooked
Warm.
up, Randy.
Yeah.
It's one of
I
the
think
bottom buttons is that room.
I know it's the middle one.
Well, it's blank. I must have it unplugged.
But
Well, I can't
it's,
get back to me either.
it's not
Yeah,
hard
go
to set up.
Go to the first button.
Dean,
It's not-
for slicer, you want to use Chitter Box.
For what?
Dean's asking what's the best slicer for a mono, any cubic mono.
The
Yeah,
first
I had
button.
that camera hooked up.
There you go.
Chitu box probably most people would use.
But
Now,
go to my
different
channel
printers-
and watch the video that says no more fails. You want to support and
But,
slicer.
yeah, and saying that now, Brand, Jamie's going to fail. you've
Dean,
cursed
I
it.
use Cheetah Box Pro is what I'm currently using. Cheetah Box, the Pro version they gave me to try it out free for a year. It's got a lot of bells and whistles that I don't use, other than just changing the color of my parts when I show pictures of my videos. But Cheetah Box works great.
Yeah, now
Well,
then, but there one of the but it varies from resin to resin. Like, 'cause that what's the issue I have with Chitu Box is now they are they're locking in support for their boards, their screens on printers that other companies use, and you
Cheetah
have
Box
to use
has
their
a free
slicer.
program that's great. It doesn't really matter. Cheetah Box is a great program. And if you get locked into buying it or something, well, that'd be different. But they have the free version. Like with all the
No,
lights.
I think they're going to go subscription.
They're getting that way. The way they're
Yeah,
heading
they're
now
getting
looks
that
like
way. They're going to bring in features that people will love, but you have to pay for it. That's what they're getting
They're going
to.
to end up shooting themselves in the foot. There's too many
But
other
that's
slicers
what they're
out there.
doing. I
They're
know
free.
the base. They'll offer basic functionality out there, and all the other stuff that's really nice to have, they will charge for it. That's
If
what
you
they're
guys-
getting to, and that's
I
where it's
hollow-
going.
What'll happen is it'll be
I
like the
hollow and
simplified
slice in Chitter
3D.
Box, and that's all I need
Yeah.
it for.
Simplified 3D, I paid $150 for it, like what, 4 or 5 years ago. And quite often on the Corality groups, people would show screenshots of their simplified 3D, and at the top it says "Register to God." It's like, dude, you need to cut that off. You shouldn't have that on because that's a pirated copy. This says "Register to God." So
Register
there's-
to God.
there's
Yeah,
there's
there's a hack
whoever
for
originally
it.
hacked it, said "Register to God," and when people do screenshots, they forget to cut that off, and now people know that they're using hack software. So there's ways around everything, but we're not going to talk about that here.
Well, I never use S3D
Yeah.
because one, I don't want to. I won't pay for a slicer when there's other good slicers out there.
Yeah.
And secondly, they nowadays they haven't updated in 5 years. I wouldn't touch them with a barge pole.
Yeah, it's been a minute. So I still use it because I know it really well, but there's
Yeah.
a lot of great slicers that are free.
Yeah, a lot of people are moving now to Super Slicer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems to be the most popular one now, just because it's got most of the features of Slice 3D, or even more stuff on it.
Yeah, and that or Idea Maker.
Hey, newbie, what you been up to? What's going on?
Well, actually today I finally
Hey, Trevor.
I started working on the first of my 5 prints I have to do for the Falcon 9. So
Okay.
started printing out the first one. I got everything prepped and ready to go, stuff like that. Went over all the pictures, got all the correct colors, everything, stuff like that. Well, I needed another color scheme of the Merlin engines on there. Well, I finally bring up a picture of the Merlin engine, and it's black and chrome.
They're actually a dark gray and chrome.
Well, here's the thing. If you can see here, I started painting it like today, Raptor engines.
That's okay.
So my first Falcon's gonna have Raptor engines on it. Got twice the
Hey there,
power,
Carl.
but so. But other than that, not too much. I'm gonna do the regular Falcon, then I'll do the heavy, and then I'll do the one with the Crew Dragon on it, and then just the booster by itself. And I found this other, what's the Block 5?
The block is the model of the rocket. When they do new iterations of them, they give them a block number. So block 1, block 2, block 3 is the iterations and improvements they have made on the rocket each time.
Okay.
Hey, Trevor.
Trevor's got a military haircut today.
Haircut man, how you doing? How's it going?
I'm good. How are y'all doing?
Oh, pretty good.
Good.
Did you watch the helicopter today?
I did.
You missed the spot. I saw the pictures. You missed the spot.
Yeah, window was very dirty.
MH-53 Pablo.
Were you ever a pilot? You know how to fly it?
I was not a pilot. I was maintenance, but I actually worked on that one. So me and a group of mostly pilots and some maintenance guys get together a couple times a year, wash it, paint it, whatever needs to be done.
But the class they pay below is a helicopter or a plane?
Helicopter.
Fair enough.
It's special ops infiltration exfiltration.
What are those plane chopper things? Ospreys or what are those called?
We have the Osprey too now. They replaced.
Do they still have problems? I know initially they're using the servicemen for test pilots and they were crashing left and right. Did they ever work the bugs out of them?
It is.
Yeah, they fixed it real good.
All right. Okay.
I've seen a few of them fly, and I've seen them take off and so on, and they're fantastic.
Yeah, they're flying around.
Landing's always optional with those, Liam. That's the trouble.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Landing's optional with them.
Yeah.
Though,
What do you
if
what
you
do you
can walk
put
away
there
from
on
the
that
crash, it's a landing. It's okay.
What are you printing there on the FL Sun?
Oh, just a demo print. I think this one is Moon City by Jucca.
Yeah, 3D Print Newbie was asking a little bit ago where you were located at.
I'm in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, or Navarre, Florida.
Stay right there in that area. Nice stories, all I have to say.
Thank you.
I'll be coming back next year to see you again.
And people that watch every week know I always do this whenever, especially when Trevor's on. I'm going to show his store, and then if he wants to unmute his mic, he can narrate it. But here comes Trevor's store right here.
Well, as you can see, we're in the mall. We have a nice little, display front for the store. On the left side, I actually have printers in the display. Filament, we do ZYLTECH and eSun. And print farm over there. Got some resin station over there. My repair table. I actually took in 12 repairs the other week. It was quite nice. Then we got lasers.
Very nice.
I love your big crock pot curing station.
Hey man, it works. Now I
If
have
it reflects, who cares, right?
Yeah, I have an Anycubic one too, but that was what I started with. Sunworks also. We got plenty of it in Florida, but being in the mall, it's hard to just walk out of my store. I don't want to leave it outside either for a while unattended.
Yeah, open the back door and it'll revolve around outside in the back on the ground outside on a.
Well, even in the back hallway, somebody might steal it.
Yeah, but see, I'm like in the center of the mall. All my hallways are just kind of internal in the mall.
Oh, okay.
That's
You don't
right.
have an external door. Okay, yeah.
It sucked during COVID because they locked them all up and we had no access to the store.
How long were you down for?
What's that? We were down for 2 months in Florida.
2 months? That's not bad. Other places were way longer than that.
Did they freeze the rent, hopefully?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You know, Florida, we do
limit to 10 people on screen. Remove someone for adding 10. There isn't 10 people on screen. 1, 2, 3, 4.
There is.
Oh, there is.
10.
Okay. All right. I got Jason in the back room. Does anyone want to pop out?
I can.
I'll jump off. What?
No, I go. I have to take a break anyway.
Okay.
I jump off.
All right.
I'll be right back.
All right, bye, Matt.
Hey, Jason, pop back in. You were there a minute ago. Now you're not.
Jason.
Yeah, as I was saying, Trevor, did they actually put a freeze on your rent for those 2 months?
Nope.
Yeah, what a surprise.
Yeah, the city municipality still charged us a $65 tap fee each month just to have water service. They didn't waive that. We had to pay the cable. Actually, our cable internet did give us a break. It wasn't a full break, but you know, even
many Trevor's behind you, Trevor. Watch your back. Many Trevor's coming in behind you.
Yeah. Hi,
girl.
Here he is.
This Jason. Yay,
Hey, Jason. How you doing?
Hey, Jason.
Hey.
I haven't seen you for ages. How are you?
I know. Oh, I'm good.
Doing?
What's that?
How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
I see you've taken over the control center there. Good.
Mission control, yeah.
Yeah, Matt popped out so you could come in. I seen you in the back room, but someone had to go out first.
I just kicked Jerry out of the garage.
Yeah.
Good place for him to stay.
Good.
Well,
Put him where he belongs.
I'm gonna engrave a sign that says the doghouse and put it over the door.
You've got a lot of space to your left there, Jason. Now you made some room.
Yes. Yes, I've been able to declutter some things. I've been able to take those things and put them together into one thing. So
in other words, you got rid of all the spare parts. You built the printer.
Yeah.
Yes, that one. Now I'm back to this one.
Oh, I'm getting a floor printer as well next year. It sounds like
a floor printer.
Yep.
Yeah, a 600
Tripod loves floor printers. I can have a floor printer.
John sending it to you?
No. I wanted John's one. No, a 600 cube.
Oh,
nice.
It needs it's too big to put on the table. It has to be on the floor. It has its own wheels.
Oh wow. Oh, is that the company that you had been working with? Is that from them?
Yeah.
Nice.
So it'll be. They said it won't be ready for 6 months, but still.
600 by 600. What sort of extrusion is that using? That's using 30 by 30s or 40 by 40s?
They're using 40/40s.
It'll need to. Just to reduce. Yeah, that's a serious amount of weight. Yeah.
It's using 40/40s. It's got linear rails on the X and that Y axis. It's core XY, and it's got linear rails. So when the head moves, it moves on rails to keep it so there's no sagging in the center. So they're actually using our linear rods, crossing an X on the print head. So when the print head moves, it slides on the rod, but it's on the core XY.
Big benchies, Brandy, because big size is everything. He wants to print the big benchy.
Brandy, you should know. You said size matters.
Is that Modix?
They're her words. She said at the beginning of the stream. I'm not making that up.
I know I did.
Hello, little Trevor. Hello, little Trevor.
Denny, the only thing I can think of the film and snapping is that it's really dry or it's got water in it.
Bring Trevor up. Bring Trevor up, Jerry, so we can wave. We can all wave to her. Bring Trevor up.
Girl, his daughter. What's her name, Trevor?
No. It's Jerry.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Say hi.
What's her name, Trevor?
Jerry.
Hey, Jerry.
Yep.
Can't be. She's got here.
Jeri.
Yep. Jeri.
You sure are pretty.
Yeah, she's helping her daddy.
We're all good, Jerry.
Yeah, she's almost three.
Jerry. So when Jerry wants to take a nap, do you say, Jerry, you need to take a nap, and you think of me? Jerry nap.
No,
You're so funny.
she's busy taking care of the store is what she's doing. She's keeping her father in check.
Yeah, she tests all the printed parts for durability.
Oh, the long test. Okay.
The Jerry test. The Jerry
Then
test
he's
for
got an
QC
issue with
control.
his filament snapping on his printer quite a bit.
Filament is snapping and damp. It needs to be dried.
No, it's just this specific print that I'm doing. It looks like this.
Yeah, but okay, is that silk?
Oh, silk filament's very brittle.
Silk is very brittle.
By
Silk
definition,
filament
yeah.
will break easily.
It's better in the dryer though.
No,
Yep.
silk has very poor layer adhesion. Each layer you lay down, because of the additive they added to make it silky, they don't stick really well. Silk filament has got really poor layer adhesion, unless it's a larger part or a more solid part. But with those small little legs on the side, it'll break very easy. Yeah. I would recommend you do that out of PETG instead.
I used to use Arion a lot, and I quit using it because of my filament breaking on the spool. And once in a while, I would have a lump in the filament to get caught in my filament extruder. It's great filament, and different companies make it, but depending on the company, sometimes it's very, very brittle.
Yeah. Carl, you're correct. If you up the temperature, it does help, but it's not always a solution. If your parts that you're printing are really narrow, they got no surface area to make good bed adhesion anyway, or good adhesion. So you're going to run into issues.
That's printed in silk, and these things snap off all the time because it's brittle. Yeah, so I ended up making them almost 25% full to make sure they're nice and strong.
Clock spring, ladies and gentlemen.
But if you're doing stuff like
Good
this,
guess.
I've had good luck with the ZYLTECH silk, but the Sunlu silk would burn on me a lot. And you pull your Bowden tube out, and you got like this gunk on the end of it too.
Yeah.
if you're doing stuff
I use the same stuff. I use the same
just like
Gold.
copper.
What
silk is
type of
amazing.
filament?
Silk is good when you have a large area, a large surface. It's great.
But when it gets thin or small, it's just very brittle.
I would say I have tried a lot of silk because I like the look of it.
Who's leaving?
Yusu has the best. Yusu has the best
Trevor.
silk filament out there.
Oh, take care, Trevor.
Yeah. So if you're, as I said, if your area you're printing for the silk is small, it's narrow, right? You don't have strength. If it's a large area like that, that will be stronger, right? Because it's a large surface area. But with what you're doing with the pennies inside it, it's so small, you have no surface area, so the silks won't bond very well. So if you're doing something that small, I would recommend, and you want it strong, go with PETG.
It's just an inherent issue with silk, and it's not structurally as strong as
it's the
PLA
additives.
plus PETG. Yep.
Yeah, it's the additives they put into the silk that's causing the problem.
If it's nice and big, not a problem.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. So if you want to do something that like use the part of the pennies inside that you show,
big's good.
Yeah, they're better off as PETG because if you then that'll be strong.
Oh,
it takes a bit more work to. Yeah, it'll take a bit. You have to dry it, and it does take more work to tune it, but you can get fantastic prints with PETG.
Okay.
And it'll be stronger.
It's just an inherent
PETG
thing
is
with
good
silk.
stuff. I like PETG.
Oh, actually, I like. I always like PETG. I recently tried the IC3D recycled PETG, and it's fantastic to print with.
Here's a picture by Carl Fenton he put over on Twitter. Clock spring design here.
Yeah, Clock spring is lovely stuff.
Enyo, I never heard of Enyo. Rainbow PLA on a CR10 Smart.
Iono
I've
is,
heard of Enyo.
it's from Amazon, but it's UK only right now.
Which Enyo?
Yeah.
I thought isn't that part of what's their name? Some printer company. What's their names? I can't remember their name now.
Yeah.
It's some printer company. That's their brand name they use for filament.
Yeah, Iono is the brand name. I don't know who makes it for them, but that's the branding they're putting on it. But it's very similar to
You gotta get going?
Sunlu or Amazon.
Take care,
All right,
Denny.
take care, Denny.
Take care,
Thank you.
Denny. No worries,
Stop
Denny.
by. Have a great
All right,
day.
everyone.
Yeah, there's a couple of them out there. Actually, I'm still waiting on the model I have to print because I'm part of the global 3D printing project, where they're doing the big model,
Statue.
the world record model.
Yosu is really good film, and I've got a lot of their silk I printed with over the last couple months, and they got
Yeah.
really good filament.
Yeah, Yosu is Chinese company, but their material is good. Most of my Toys for Tots were printed with Yosu material.
Yuso and Sunlu are like my go-to materials.
I like Matter Hacker. Not Matter Hacker, Hatchbox. Sorry, Hatchbox. They did really
Just
good. Their PLA is
keep
good.
rubbing it in, guys. You can get more than one brand in this, in America.
Our
I'm very limited on what I can
G-Tech
get
is good.
down here.
The G-Tech
love-
is Yusu and Nino.
I love my Yusu.
Paying the freight for me would just be ridiculous. Cost more than the filament.
Yeah, but
So are you still printing with your Weed Whacker line, Kieran?
Yep. Weed Whacker line works great. Works great.
If you have 50 different brands of filament in front of you, 40 of them are going to be exactly the same. The other 10 will probably be a little different here and there because so much filament.
It's all
printed
OEM
block or whatever, but so much of it's the same, and
Well,
It's
many
all
of them are
OEM.
made by the same company and then
Correct. Coming out of the same
resold and
rebranded.
rebranded.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
3D Fuel makes, I don't even like 24 brands that you buy.
Yep.
They even make, well, they used to make the Creality filament that everybody took out of the box and threw away and said was garbage, but loved 3D Fuel.
It's the same
I had no
using lines,
issues.
it's just
I
a
had no
different
issues with
label on
reality
the end.
filament. Oddly enough, it worked fine.
then if somebody wants some really expensive filament, they think it'll print better. Like, okay, we're going to charge $20 more a roll for that because people are going to pay it, even though it's exactly like this, and this. So
I will pay more. I will pay more for a better spooled roll because tangles just aren't worth the time. It's a waste.
Yeah.
No matter how much you saved, you just wasted the whole roll.
Yeah.
It's because
Yeah.
it's gonna. If it happens once, it's probably gonna happen
Actually,
twice on that roll.
The Yusu
I'd put-
spools are fantastically laid out.
Yeah, I've had a few of the silks, and yeah.
They're perfect
The
layers.
poppy
They're
I
perfect
made
layers.
for Adeline was the Yusu, their pink silk, and it printed just beautifully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the layers are every layer is spot on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's fantastic.
I'll
Extruded
play more
knives.
for
I like
PLA
it.
Plus
Good.
or PLA Pro because that does print a lot better than the standard PLA.
There are differences. Yeah.
PLA Plus I like as well.
That brand was called
Yeah.
Yusu.
Yusu,
Yusu.
Youusu.
Yeah.
They're really good. It's not super expensive, and it's about $22 a spool, but it's worth every penny.
Oh,
It's
so
good
so
material.
Carl's saying that Yusu and Iono are the same company.
Well,
Okay.
well, Yusu it probably makes Iono. Whoever Iono is, they
Well,
probably make it for them.
I've never even
Who
heard
knows?
of
Yeah.
Yuno.
Yeah,
They
it's not here. That's why.
Yeah, it's in
Yeah.
it's in Europe only, but
Yeah.
yeah, Yusu make for about 15 other companies.
Yeah.
So it's the same stuff, they're just different labels on it, and they say, "Oh, here's a color we want, so you make this mixture." Is all there, and then the guys at Yusu they put in the additives to change the color.
But whatever brand that prints great on your printer, stick with it because what works fine
Yeah.
for one printer will not work with another printer, regardless of whatever you do to it.
Yeah, that's true.
Just that
Yeah.
slight difference in the hot end and the temperature and the extruder
Extruder.
will work
Yep.
great on one,
Okay.
but not the other. And it's just purely and simply
Yeah.
every single
Green tea.
printer is idiosyncratic. So
Ugh.
you find one that works,
Oh.
stick with it.
I'd have to
That's-
put some sugar in that, Jerry.
This particular brand is really, really strong, but I like tea without sugar in it.
Yeah,
I'm in the
unfortunately,
South.
finding
We
that
got
sweet
to have
spot
our
of filament
sweet tea.
can get a little expensive when you go through 3 or 4 different brands. But
Yeah.
if you find one that works on your printer or printers, stick with it. That's all.
Yeah,
it is.
I have a couple I like to do. Like as I said, G-Tech material works really well.
Mhm.
I don't think I don't even know if G-Tech make it themselves. I'm not sure. I think they do.
I've used that. and it's
Yusu.
good filament.
Works great. I see 3D when I'm going PETG. It's fantastic material. I
JO.
haven't used their PLA, but I've used their PETG and recycled PETG.
JO is great filament.
Looks great.
too.
Yeah, Jo is Sunlu. Sunlu
Yeah.
makes Jo.
Yeah, I get both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't used theirs.
I've been using Coex for a little while now, and I like their PETG and I like their PLA
Do you know
for
what's
different
good?
reasons than I like some other brands too. The one brand of PLA that I don't like, everybody loves it. I don't like the way it prints. Atomic.
Never used it.
I do not. Their PETG is okay,
I've
but
never
I don't
used
find it to be
You're muted, Ron. If you were saying something,
different?
you're muted. You're muted, Ron.
Oh, Ron, you're muted.
Yep.
I'm not anymore. There we go. I just pulled this out. Got to redo all my wires and put the cover on it and just get it all straightened out, make it look like new. I just haven't had the time. I haven't taken the time. I've had the time. I just haven't taken the time to fix it. I got a mess right here.
Oh, yeah, bit of a spider's web. And
yeah,
me and Ema makes a good point too. Batch consistency. That's another reason why you got to be careful for your brands.
Yeah, but don't talk about it.
One brand can have
big
variations.
I would change wires out and not pull the old ones, and it's not good to do that. You end up with a hell of a mess.
Yeah.
Bad. Don't like it.
This
So
must
now I'm
be
going to straighten it
everybody
all
take
out.
their stuff apart week. I've got a Creality over there that I had to completely take apart. The stepper motor it just basically froze up.
I haven't had to take anything apart this week. Unusual.
This week.
Well, I have to say, I would say about 95% of my time, and I'm going to, this is going to kick me in the butt now that I'm saying this. My printers run without issues. I rarely have to do work on them. They just,
Until today.
I do maintenance.
Until today, Jamie's saying the same. She's cursed to resin printers the same. She said that.
Creality sent me that printer, and I have tried really hard to love it. But I've probably used a liter of resin and got maybe 3 prints. Small.
Yeah, any Cubic, the same thing. They sent me their resin to review, the Craftsman, and it printed really nice. And then they had it on sale on Amazon, so I bought 3 bottles. And for 5 days, I lost every single print, nothing but problems. I had to get a refund on it. I don't know if it was a bad batch or what, but when I done my video, some people in comments said, "How are you getting that to print? They're having trouble." I said, "Well, I don't know. It prints fine for me." So then when I went and ordered more, then I had nothing but headaches. So I'm sorry, I won't touch it again because of that. Because even though it was a bad batch, I love ZYLTECH. There's too many other brands I can try without wasting my time ordering it and having failures and have to send it back and all that crap.
I will
Reliability and consistency for be it resin, be it filament, be it whatever. You got to get your reliability down, especially for something like a consumable like that. Otherwise, it's a waste of money.
I will not print for a month if I can't get my Sunlu resin. That is the best resin I have ever found. And on the Mono SE, it's just like a dream. Set it and forget it. Just like this.
I think Trevor sells eSun, and I've never tried Sunlu resin. I don't think. I'd have to look at my videos, but I don't think I've tried it.
Carl mentioned ICUN. I have some of their material. They sent me some samples, and it prints really nice, and the colors are really nice. They have really nice, vibrant colors. They're purples and reds and so on. They're really, really nice. It's like a deep blood red, so like a dark blood red. It's really, really nice colors. But yeah, I like the ICU material is good and it prints really nice.
And Sunlu, I don't remember if it was PLA or PETG, but I done a video on it. End of the video, I said I'll let you guys be the judge. I didn't say whether I did or didn't like it, but I didn't like it. But I don't remember if it was the PLA or the PETG. I had a lot of problems with.
A lot of people struggle with PETG.
I have their Sunlu. I have their SPLA, and it prints like, oh my god, it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Now the PLA, their PLA, I had to send their PLA back, 3 spools of it, but their SPLA, it prints real good.
So what's their SPLA? That's everyone else's plus or pro version?
No, it's kind of like it's somewhere between PETG and PLA.
Oh, okay,
that's how they kind of tout it. Yeah, I've tried it. They sent me a couple rolls a while back, and it prints okay. It prints more like PETG, and less like PLA, but it still prints like PLA and less like Peggy. It was kind of weird, but it was fine.
The printing parameters are up, bump the heat
The
up, and everything.
PLA Plus from Focus. I think I know who makes their material. I have a feeling it's Yusu. I think it's Yusu, but their PLA Plus prints fantastic. I use I won some spools from them, and some of the guys on one of the streams had giveaways, and they gave me the filament instead on one of Jerry's giveaway.
Oh, because of
and I used it for the Toys for Tots, and the stuff printed like a dream. It was never once you get the right temperatures, their temperature settings, just go. Print after print and nail it.
A lot of times it comes down to removing the support. Sometimes they're held to remove, and sometimes you can break them off.
What are supports, Jerry?
Yeah.
I just know with those toys, there was no supports. It's just print after print. There was no supports. Pop off the base, print again. That's all I did.
Here's a link, Greg, if you'd like to pop in and say, hey, you haven't been on them forever.
Jason, how many toys did you print?
I don't know. I didn't count it, but that's that's the end of that second 2.5 kilogram spool. So, and that just
you got a lot on there still, though.
What are you printing?
No, it's not. There's 2 layers left.
I know. I have them here.
It's just a big So I looked at it. I'll get something out of it, but I won't get a dozen trains out of it or anything. So.
Hey, Andrew.
Is that what you're printing? We're trying.
Trains and trucks, and I did some other stuff too.
That's a 2.5 kilo spool.
Yeah. I did the.
That's their
with other color because they sent me 5 kilos of orange.
Yeah, I've got a 5 in another room.
So with the other colors, I did some of the smaller flexible stuff, the unicorns, the horses, and a few other of the toys. But with just this color, I'm just doing the trucks and trains. So I'll do like 24 trucks, and then I'll do 12 trains, and then I'll do 24 trucks and 12 trains.
Oh, these kids will be happy on Christmas Day.
Yeah, I switched over to doing nothing but trains because the amount of trains that were being done were so low.
Mm-hmm.
So I just started doing as many trains as I could, and I got like I think it was 120 trains. I did.
Nice. On the Loyal Moses giveaway that he's doing on all the farm equipment that everybody's printing, I reposted that link that was on Twitter. I put it on Facebook. I think I put it on Astro Printer's page and 3D Print Newbie page also. Or 3D Print Newbie page. Yeah. Matt's page
6.
So when you're done, Jason, you have to take a picture like I did of all of them laid out.
I think in this box I've got 30 or 40 trains in that box, and then in between the spaces is filled in with trucks, and because I just pull them and print them off, and then just throw them over here, and I'll put the wheels on later.
Drop them off at?
Yeah, so if you need
well, they have hubs, but I don't have one local here, so I'm going to ship mine to Elko up north, and they'll take care of it from there.
So you need to take a picture like this, Jason.
Dang, printer.
Yeah,
that's impressive, though. It is impressive.
But I don't want to make you look bad.
It's okay.
Liam,
you make us all look bad. It's okay.
Liam,
if I actually took the time to do it, I'll post it. If I think of doing it, I may just box them up and ship them out. So
it's not about that. It's about having fun doing it. Is what it's all about.
I'll CGI it. I'll CGI it like Braveheart, and I'll fill a bunch in, and I did 1 million toys.
Now you'll have to deliver. Well, look, if they started this earlier in the year, I could have 4,000 or 5,000 or more done by the end of the year.
Yeah.
All right, that was only 10 weeks work, 8 or 10 weeks.
I think just getting the logistics set up, and for every new year, getting the whole sponsors and getting the whole thing set up takes quite a while to get all that.
But that doesn't mean those of us who want
they could get you the models
can start early.
Yeah. They can give you the models
down, and they gave us the models in advance. Say, guys, have at it, and when we have everything else sorted out, we let you know. And
they can add models throughout the year.
Use it. Yeah.
They can say, hey, we got these 5 designers. They gave us these models, and then A few months later, hey, we've added a few more, and a few months later, we've added a few more. So it can be a wide range of toys all through the year. Hey,
Yeah.
here's the hubs, ship them out or go drop them off, and that would
Greg,
be fine.
I got 2 kilos.
I wonder
But I
how many
printed
kids are going to
24.
get the toys, throw them on the floor, and go, "I want an Xbox."
You know what? I will be giving it to him. So it doesn't matter. But Greg, like I said, I printed just over 24 spools, almost 25 spools, and they gave me 2. So I'm the same as you. Most of them are.
And he had to
are
drive
own
a couple
materials.
hours, didn't you, to pick up?
You're lucky you got a few donations, Liam. So
I got a few,
yeah.
but most of it was everything I had in stock. I had a whole pile of stuff here. I had some rainbows and all this. The rainbows was great for the small little items. I ripped through it on those, and then I started getting into the larger objects, and I had solid colors, and I printed with that, and I basically drained my stock. So
My sister,
That's
the
what I
other
did in
day,
the beginning.
my sister had an older house, and she had a water leak somewhere in her bathroom, behind the wall, behind the toilet or the shower stall. You could put your ear on the wall and barely hear it. When I went out to the street and I checked the meter, it wasn't leaking enough that the meter was registering, but she had a little water in her kitchen on the floor, very slight. So under the home warranty, she called out the company. They came out, charged her $75, and told her exactly what I had told her. They said, "We'll have to get back with you and get an estimate." Well, insurance wouldn't cover it. They said it'd probably be $2,000 to $3,000 to fix whatever's wrong on the wall. So I ordered a camera off Amazon the other day for $18.99. It plugs into my cell phone. I downloaded a couple of free apps. And out of the 3 apps, one of them worked really well. I went in by the toilet, cut a small hole in the drywall, and I started probing before I tear up the kitchen, go underneath the cabinet to get to the back side of the shower. I found the leak behind the toilet. So I removed the toilet, cut out a drywall about 3 foot long, a foot tall. I found a piece of PEX that was tied into copper with a compression fitting. I don't think that was done back in the 60s. So at some point, somebody probably added that PEX pipe, and then it ties back into copper for the stub out where you hook up your toilet, your anti-siphon valve goes. So we went to Lowe's, got a bunch of parts. I got it replaced. It was a pain in the ass, but I got it done. So now I sprayed a bunch of bleach on where all the water had sprayed for probably a week or two. If there's any kind of mold to kill it, they're drying it out with fans the next 2 or 3 days. Then I'll go back over there. I'll take some primer and I'll spray primer over top of everything, remove anything if I have to, if it's really that bad, and then I can re-drywall texture it and they can paint it. But huge pain in the ass, and it was behind the toilet. Thank God it wasn't behind the shower, because I'm not going to bust out all the tile on the shower. I'd have to go in the kitchen underneath the cabinet and cut out the wall, cut out the back of the cabinet, and then go through the drywall from the backside, which would be hard to do.
Yeah.
So,
While trying to work inside of a cabinet.
Yeah, and then I'm fat, and then trying to work in the cabinet, it'd be hell. So thank God at least it was behind the toilet, and I was able to fix it. It was like a pinhole in the PEX.
I just dropped 16 grand on getting my ensuite totally rebuilt because of a leaking shower, and that everything got gutted.
Wow.
The only way to do it is strip it back to the wall and start from scratch with new membrane and do the whole thing properly.
Even if the company would have came back out and cut that out, they would have said, "Oh no, all that copper, that's too old. We got to replace everything," because that's the way they operate. They wouldn't have just replaced the line like I did that was bad. They'd say, "We have to rip it all out," and they still would have charged an arm and a leg. So anyway, I'm glad
they have to bring it up to code. They have to bring it up to whatever the building code is.
Whatever they find has
then
to
they
be
hit you
made
with we can fix the water leak behind your toilet, but you're going to need 2 new outlets
that's
in the kitchen or something, or we can't get a permit. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Oh, but you didn't do it avocado style.
No, you didn't get the rough texture. No.
I like it.
What? The red is there for Sunroof Galaxy. It's the Galaxy red by Sunroof.
Yeah, you didn't put the fuzzy skin on it. You needed the fuzzy skin on the base.
Yeah, you know what? It probably would have looked funny with that red.
Color.
It looked good in how you did it. I liked how you did it. You know what? I like the I had gotten a couple rolls of, I think they were Aeron glitter. One was like glitter blue and one was glitter red. I think that's what it was called, glitter something.
Mm-hmm.
And I used it for some of the cars and trains and stuff, and that stuff prints really well. I'd never really tried Aeron. I know a lot of people like it. Everybody's got the stuff they like, right? There's nothing. If it prints well for you, there's nothing wrong with it, no matter what anybody else says.
Exactly. Be it $18 or $35 or whatever it is. What works for you?
Yep.
and you've got it tuned in, you stick with it because that way you're not going to worry about, I see the marks on it, I see this, I see that.
Yeah.
It's much easier doing it that way.
Yeah, it's the same way with parts. You know, it's like, oh, I like the $100 main board. I like the $20 main board. It's so much better. This one's better. Whatever you like, if it works, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, so.
And I mean, I don't mod it till it breaks. I basically just mod it for a reason. I don't mod it till it breaks.
Go ahead, newbie. It's kind of hard to hear you. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was telling Jason I mainly use the Sunlu, the Arion, and the Overture. Those are about the brands I go with there.
Yeah, I've never tried Overture. Sunlu I've used in the past and quite often. Arion only a few times.
Overture fan. That was.
I'm sorry, I tried E-Sun too.
The only thing I would run.
E-Sun, yeah, E-Sun, yeah. I really like the E-Sun gray, as opposed to like many other brands of gray. I don't know why. Maybe just the way it comes out when it's done, but or maybe post processing. Maybe for whatever reason, I just like the way that printed.
The only reason why I have color
Some of those names just crack me
one
up.
of the ladies that live here might say, you know, or somebody, a lot of stuff that I do print for people is mainly for women. So when they wanted this color, they wanted that color, let them pick up the color, stuff like that. Other than that, all I would order would just be gray. So, I mean, when it comes to
here's the easy way, Mylan. Here's the easy way. Buy everything in one color, whatever material you want to use, and then turn and say they can get a spray can and print it whatever color they want. That's how
it's not the same though. It's not the same. When you have something, see, you wouldn't be able to paint that. So
no.
You could airbrush that and it would still have the same surface.
You could.
You'd lose the sparkle.
Jamie could paint it. I can't paint it.
Sparkle. Yeah.
I just watched your part 2 Thena thing on that one.
Yeah.
Last night, my daughter loves watching your paint. She just it just shuts her up for an hour.
Oh, that's awesome.
The only thing she keeps at, because she has an Aunt Jamie. That's Aunt Jamie. No, that's a different Jamie. But Aunt Jamie, it's not the same Jamie.
Made me so mad. I had no idea that my mic was only halfway plugged in. So there was the buzzing was absolutely horrendous. So I had to denoise, dehum, everything that I could think of in Adobe Pro to get it fixed. So then you can barely hear me. And then once you find out that that's done, you've already painted your stuff. So
yeah, you can't redo it.
You can't redo it.
Yeah, I usually do a test when I start a stream or a video. I test it. I go back in OBS and watch it. Sometimes I don't, but I usually do, and I have screwed up things because of that. And it's like, or the camera. I filmed a couple times with my DSLR, and it shut off. And I'm thinking, what happened? I'm in the middle of building a printer or something. I can't undo what I did, so I have to go back and hopefully have enough footage to put it together.
DSLR you're shooting with, but I use a Canon Rebel SL3, and you got 29 minutes. So I set a timer on my phone.
You can fix that.
I got an i5 Rebel, I think it is, so it's around a half hour.
Yeah, Magic Lantern.
Well, most of the Canon, like for mine, I have a T something, T5, TI5,
T5 or T3 or
something.
Yeah.
It's a 5. I know there's a 5 in it.
So it's a T5 or a T5i, probably.
Okay, so when we used to set it up for different things, and I got tired of changing the batteries and having all these batteries, they make a battery that it's a battery pack that fits up inside, and you plug it in, and you're done.
To it right
Got a power brick.
Yeah, but if you okay, Jamie, if for it powering off, if you're doing video, you can install Magic Lantern. You get basically what you do with Magic Lantern is you put it on the SD card, and you put in the SD card and you load it up on the SD card, and it basically takes over control of the firmware, and it allows you to do stuff, to turn off features and turn on features and make tweaks to stuff that you cannot do in the stock firmware.
Ah, okay.
Jamie,
power off
on my time lapses on the cord that I got from Uncle Jesse, a couple time lapses went great, and then all of a sudden, about every 15, 20 minutes, half hour, my camera kept shutting off, and I would go in, I'd check the brick, I'd have to unplug it, plug it back in, then start taking pictures again. And I changed the SD card, I replaced the power brick, Then I finally put Magic Lantern on the card, and that fixed the problem. That's
Magic
completely.
Lantern's
I forget
fantastic.
what
Yeah,
setting
just-
I changed in it, but it stopped it from shutting off.
Just doing photos, I don't have a problem with it shutting off.
Yeah, exactly.
But I did.
It just,
Yeah.
but I.
It's not overheating, is it?
No, the save battery Canon machines when they're doing video
Auto power save
auto
function.
power themselves off
Right.
after 30 minutes.
Right.
But Magic
The-
Lantern overrides that.
Jerry,
No,
the
I know
thing
some
is
of them
with the
get
brick,
hot and will shut down.
Put the brick in the camera with the camera already turned on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Turn your camera on and then put the brick in, because for some reason, if the brick is in and the camera is off and you put the brick in, it doesn't register that it's a brick.
Yeah.
It doesn't register the mains.
When
connection.
mine was shutting off while doing a time lapse, I would flip the camera on and off. It wouldn't do anything. I would unplug it out of the. Well, actually, I didn't take the brick out. I just went down to the power brick on the floor. The cord that goes up to the camera with that dummy battery. I'd replug it in right there, and then it would just start working again. But that was taking pictures, and it takes anywhere from 500 or 600 pictures per resin lapse. And then when you put it in your editing software, it puts it together like a movie, and then you speed it up or slow it down however fast it stitches all those pictures together. But on video, it's like you said, 20 minutes to whatever my camera was shutting down when I was filming. So I have to keep looking at the screen while I'm doing something to see when that pops up. But if Magic Lantern will turn that off, it'd be great.
Magic Lantern does make it makes a huge difference.
In effect, it's a whole new firmware setup running off the SD card. Doesn't affect the camera whatsoever.
The problem I would run into is like my videos, even the ones that I break down into part 1 through 5, you know, those are videos that I have edited down from like 3 hours. So if I had something that didn't let my camera shut off, the file would be so big, because even a 29-minute file is 7 gig.
Yeah.
So you're happy it cuts off. You're glad it cuts off.
So I'm glad it's cutting off. I feel like that card's so
self-induced editing. Yeah.
But I am using a 256 gig card in there, so it's not really supposed to work.
You can actually,
but it does.
You don't need to use a card. You and Canon they have software that you can run in your computer,
tethering software,
and you can live capture to your computer from the Canon camera.
The EOS web.
The
something.
EOS software,
Yeah, I've got it on my phone.
But see, I do it. Well, I use my camera mostly for astrophotography. My DSLR, and there's a different software called Backyard EOS, and Backyard EOS is actually designed for astrophotography, where you can control all the features of the camera from your computer, 100%, and you do all the settings, you do all the exposure, you do everything, and you manage it all locally from the computer. And you can do video. You can do for like if you're doing planets, you do video. If you're doing deep sky stuff, you do really long exposure. So you set your camera on bulb mode, and then the computer takes control of everything. Because once on bulb mode, it's expecting external control to turn it on or off, and to control the powers, control the exposures, and so on.
But the Canon has got its own software for that, which works fine. There's the Canon EOS utility.
That's great for normal photographs. It is.
Which is
fine. What I use mine for is not good for.
But then you can use that to store directly to your computer hard drive without having to go through the card. That way you can put in a smaller card to boot from using Magic Lantern, and then everything else is done on the computer.
Actually, I don't know if the Canon software will work with Magic Lantern.
I had a cheap external microphone
Wrong
on my
firmware.
Canon camera.
Yeah, I don't think it will because you're loading up a new firmware. I think that'll cause an issue.
I have to check. I can't. I'm sure I did it. I have to check. Yeah.
I have a Rode mic that I use for like if I'm videoing out and about, but like this little mic that I use normally, the one that I can't seem to get plugged in, it was just like $40 on Amazon. But
I looked at I was going to put a mic on my Canon. I looked at the Rode mic and a couple others they recommended, and I bought one for around $40-50. They said was better than the Rode, and that's what I put on it. It's got like
Yeah,
a
this
little
is
wet
just a little
frame on it.
lav mic. My Rode mic is bigger, and
With a dead cat.
this works better for when I'm painting because I'm moving around. I mean, obviously, I can't like hook this to myself because I bought a mic extender. No, that didn't work. Doesn't work at all.
You're
I
close
have a
enough to the
wireless
Canon,
lab
close
set.
enough to you. You should be able to put that on top of the camera and just talk. You're a couple feet away from it. That's how I film videos with my DSLR. I just have the mic on the like that mic Rode mic you showed hooked on top of my Canon camera, my DSLR, and I just talk, and I'm 3 or 4 feet away from it. It sounds
I mumble.
fine. Oh,
So I've got to have some.
Hey, Bruno.
I'll tell you, Jamie,
Hey,
though,
Bruno.
whatever frequency noise that was in the background when your mic was half plugged in, knocks you right out, right to sleep. It's great.
White noise.
White noise.
Thanks.
It's like that road noise, you know.
Yeah.
The hum. That's
The hum. That's got D-hum activated twice on it and D-noise activated twice on it.
so.
Who is it
Jason's
that
got
we-
that on loop on his phone to send the daughter to sleep now.
It's nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Who is it that we watch all the time live, and every time he moves, his mic cuts out, and then he sits back up and it works fine? It's a constant problem. I can't think who it is. I don't think it's Tim, is it?
John?
John.
Somebody.
Who's
The
John?
mic works
Tripod.
fine, and the minute they move around in a weird position, then the mic cuts out. Then they
That
stand
happens to
sit
John
back
a lot.
up, and then it's fine again.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah,
it was
it's
Tim.
tripod, yeah.
I'm not sure.
I
Pick my
use
tripod again.
I have a wireless setup as a Sarmonic. Is what I use, the Sarmonic mics. And they're wireless. And I
think my
have the
Rode
aerial
mic was
set.
like 70
And then what
bucks.
I do is I have another mixer box that actually goes onto the shoe on the camera.
That's my lav mic.
Yeah, no, but these ones I use are they're good. I don't use them very often because when I'm doing most of my streams, I actually use the blue snowball. That microphone is fantastic because when I do my live this morning, I didn't bring it in here this afternoon, but I normally have the snowball here, and the audio on the snowball is fantastic.
For the
That's a
price you
Yeti?
pay for that
Is
snowball, it beats a hell of a lot of high price microphones.
Oh,
It's a
it
great
does,
little
yeah.
unit.
Is that from Yeti?
No.
Oh, it's the company's blue, right?
Here's
Yeah,
a Mobo
yeah, it's a
right
blue
here.
snowball,
This thing
yeah.
I just
Yeah.
bought and works awesome. I just hooked that on top of my DSLR. It's called a Mobo, and it's
Yeah,
rated
the
higher
directional.
than
That's the
Rode mic.
directional one.
The directional mic, yeah.
I
Works
want
great.
to figure out an overhead setup. I'm gonna have to get me a wide angle lens, I think, because I can't get the zoom. I do a whole lot of detail stuff. Well, y'all know, but to get it on camera,
Hey,
it's
Vincent.
hard to keep. If any of you have seen my videos, you're like, where's she?
Where did it go? Where did it go?
Well, Jamie, if you get any more detailed on your videos with your models, I think I'll just become suicidal. If I ever want to feel bad about my skills, I just watch your videos. I mean, I'm just depressed. I'm like, I can't do that.
You need multiple cameras.
Like, that's
It makes
just
me
too
feel
nice.
good, really.
Like,
but
I wonder if I can hire her.
He hates you.
Jamie,
Jason
you
hates
need
you.
multiple cameras.
I love to watch your videos. I hate you for painting so well.
I'm really not that good.
Well, look,
Well,
compared to all of us, you are.
It's trouble hanging paint on a wall. Yes.
Look, if I can tell what it is when you're done, you
Take care,
beat me.
If it doesn't look if it doesn't look like Bozo the Clown when you're done, you're better than I am.
know that okay, I've done the Wanda, then I did Black Widow, and then I did Vampirella, and now I just did Thena.
Okay, I've seen
That is the
those
extent
models.
of my painting that I have
And
ever done.
they
in
all
my
look
life.
exactly like they should, or better.
Whereas Jason's all look the same, whether it's painting a wall or
Mine
painting a
look
model
like
or painting a robot.
a kindergarten finger painting class put me to shame.
No, mine,
That's what mine look like.
Mine is like
Jason's
that.
daughter does a better job than Jason does.
To quote Jerry, my painting looks like a blind man jumping up and down with a paintbrush.
Oh my God.
That's exactly what he said.
Not
This
publicly.
is the fourth painting
Not publicly, no.
I've ever done in my life.
It looks wonderful, Jamie.
I
It looks
I
good
think
over
it's
here.
just because I am like super competitive and
ADHD
super
helps.
OCD and a perfectionist. So I look at a photo and I want it to make it look just exactly like that photo.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's only the 4th figure I've ever done. So hopefully I'm going to get better.
Well, Jamie, I look at a photo and I want to do whatever I'm doing to look exactly like the photo, but they all end up looking like Bozo the Clown was put through a blender.
Yeah. If I want something to look like the photo, I just print the photo and stick it to the front of what I've printed.
You actually paint on glue and then dab it on so the photo sticks to the plastic. Yeah.
Right, with a little blue tack so it doesn't mess up my
Maybe
print.
you'll ban Jamie. Anytime he brings a model up, the screen goes blank. It makes us all feel better. Auto blank Jamie's screen.
What's up, Vincent? How you doing?
Hey, Vincent.
Yeah, I had some power issues. Thanks, Scott.
Oh,
get out of here.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Uber Eats delivered. Uber Eats delivered. Well done, Vincent.
I have to get me one of those.
Yeah, delivery service.
I had some power issues here, so the fuse blown. I had to get a new one. Still got all the fuses in the house.
Ooh, where's the noise coming from?
And I just
Hey,
got a
Bruno.
phone call
Yeah, me
that
get food.
somebody isn't sick, so I have to work tomorrow morning.
Cheers, old curmudgeon.
Liam, is that you painting your Bozo the Clown in the back?
No. I got about an hour left in my print, an hour or so left in that resin print. So when we finish up here, I'll clean it up. I'll get it finished and I'll cure it and I'll publish it. I'll publish pictures of it tonight. It's looking good.
So I gotta go again, guys, because I got a phone call. I have to work tomorrow morning early because somebody is sick.
All right. Well, have a great night. Thanks for
Take care,
coming.
man.
Cheers,
Enjoy work.
Hey, at least you're not sick. Take care, Vincent.
Take care, Vince.
Oh man.
Oh,
I'll tell you,
Hey, Vincent.
I'm bored.
How's it
I'm
going?
bored of printing all these Toys
Hey,
for
Tim, how you
Tots
doing?
toys. I'm done.
Oh yeah, did you not know, Jason? You have to paint them all to make them look real.
Yeah, then they're not getting any.
Have you managed to
I'll-
reclaim?
Just use spray
Have you
paint.
managed to reclaim half of the models back from your daughter yet, Jason, or she's got them all stashed away somewhere?
Dude, I'm finding them everywhere. It's not even funny. I've just given up on those. I'm like, well, that's Merry Christmas. You're getting nothing. So you stole from
Bah,
other
humbug.
kids. You're a horrible
humbug.
child.
She's getting lumps of coal for Christmas.
Like your
little
mother
kid
taught
next-
you this, didn't she?
The little kid next door is throwing stuff on the roof. And on their back patio, I can go in my backyard and I can see the back of their patio. And there's all kinds of toys on the roof. So I let his parents know, hey, your back patio's got like 20 or 30 toys laying up there. When I was a kid, I didn't throw stuff on the roof.
No, I would get in trouble.
No, we didn't
I
either, or we
couldn't
would have
sit
to get
for a
our
week,
butts up there
probably,
and get
most
it off.
likely.
Yeah.
Because you probably
Yeah.
didn't have that much of them just rope on the roof in the first place, anyway.
I climbed up to the roof, threw stuff off, and then jumped down after it. That was more fun than just throwing your stuff up on the roof and
Oh yeah,
losing it.
climbing up on the roof is fun.
Yep.
I remember
Roofs, trees, you name it.
when I was 4 years old, we lived in Nebraska and we moved to Vegas when I was 5. But I can vaguely remember getting on the roof of a 2-story house in Nebraska, and I was trying to look down the chimney to figure out how Santa Claus got down the chimney. And I remember my mom coming out in the backyard and freaking out because I'm 4 years old on the roof. And I remember walking to the edge. I'm okay, Mom. You know, I'm not going to fall. But, you know, a 4-year-old kid on the roof, you're going to think, oh, my God.
Well,
We're
what's
gonna walk
man
right
must
off the
remember,
edge.
when they're 4 years old, they bounce.
Yeah.
They bounce.
See, so you're all lucky. You
I
will
probably
get
still bounce.
Santa Claus and
Yeah, we all
reindeer
have
on
to
your
fall
roof.
from a lot higher than that to bounce.
See, that's what we find on our roofs.
Alrighty.
See, he can bounce too.
And you can't
Yeah,
poke it down and
so
might bite you or attack
explain-
you, right?
Explain
poke
that
it?
one. Why it's on the roof of a house or how it even got there.
He's got extra springy legs.
It jumped. Duh.
I
It's a
don't think they can
kangaroo.
jump that high.
No, I mean the roof's a tall roof, but it ended up on the roof of a house.
He must have found a way up in somewhere else. He did it on multiple levels.
Jumped on something and this and that. And it tipped
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Maybe up. Maybe it got on the car and then up on the roof or something.
Maybe he was being chased by something, a predator, and he did that to get away from it.
A Tasmanian devil.
But
Yeah, that'll
if
do
a
it. That'll do
kangaroo
it.
is on
That'll
your
chase
roof,
anything to a roof and
you're
off the
leaving
roof and
there.
back onto another roof.
Yeah, don't they
But when
spin
you got
around really
kangaroos
fast?
on your roof, it's time to stop drinking. That's the important thing, right? That's the remember. If you see kangaroos there, time to stop drinking.
Yeah, but don't they, Jason?
Huh?
Those has devils, don't they spin around really fast?
Not till they grab you. Yeah, and it's like an alligator death roll. You're done.
Yeah, I'm referring to the cartoon.
Now, I remember driving around at night, and all the wallabies would just they were like moths. They would just come out of the grass because the grass was tall, and they would just be jumping everywhere. And you always think there's so many. You think you're gonna hit one, and you're not, because they're just scarce. They're scaring you more than you think you're scaring them by driving around.
They will hit the car. They'll run into the car, as will emus. The worst thing are the wombats,
emus,
because you don't see them. The wombats you don't see on the road, and they take the bottom of your car out. They're the worst ones. Because they're like concrete bricks when you hit them at 100 kilometers and the bottom of
We've
your
got
car's
like
gone.
armadillos and possums and
No, armadillos
raccoons.
are fine because they're soft and squishy. A wombat is like hitting a cinder block.
An armadillo is not soft.
It is under your tire.
An armadillo will flip a car.
Yeah.
What kind? Like a smart car?
No,
Like a clown car?
Remote
control car?
I was always told that, so you don't hit an armadillo because they
No.
can flip your car.
No,
Hey,
they
Liam.
don't.
I know they're good eating armadillos.
Twitter. I sent it to you on Twitter yesterday.
You did?
Yeah, check. I'm pretty sure I did.
Armadillos are
Well, that's why
small.
I'm here.
Not very big at all.
Yeah,
Okay, well, obviously you've seen
They're
it. Log
big.
in.
Yeah,
Maybe when you went to maybe when you went to tag Astro Printer,
Tastes like chicken.
it auto corrected to ask something else that you usually tag.
Thanks, Jason.
But you still should have got it.
You come here for the love, man.
If you're coming for the love, it's the wrong channel.
Yep.
Is Astro Printer with one or two S's? I forget.
You need Astro Printer's My Fan site. We're on the wrong channel for that one.
My fans, only fans, only fans.
That's where you see his pictures of asteroids.
Yeah, that's it.
When are you retiring?
Sorry,
Astro
Jerry.
Printer?
Say that again?
When are you retiring, Liam?
Me? I'll never retire. Never. And even if I was, it's a good 20 years away from me anyway.
Well, that's your story. You tell it how you like.
Yeah.
My big garage door here a couple days ago, somehow when I went to roll it up, it came unspooled on one side. You know, you got two springs on a 16-foot door, and you got rollers with cables that grab the door and they roll up on the rollers. Well, one side got unspooled somehow. The door started going up crooked, started tearing up the door. So I stopped it, and I managed to unhook it off the garage door opener, and I got it to go back down. And I ordered new rollers. I got old rollers. They're 21 years old steel rollers. I got some nice nylon ones. I replaced all on one side. I managed to get the door rolled up, and I got the one side re-spooled by hand once the door was up, which was a huge pain in the butt to rewind and hook it. And as soon as I went to take the door down, since I got that side spooled, this other side, the left side, came unspooled. Like son of a blankety blank. Now this side's screwed up. So I had to fight it while it was up and try to, get it. I didn't care about it being lined up in the right position. I just wanted it on there. The first side I got in the right position. It's got notches. The second side, I just wound it up there anywhere because once I get it down, it'll roll back up on the track. It'll straighten itself out. And I finally got it fixed. But I still got 4 more rollers to replace. So it's a huge pain in the ass.
I bet it'll be a lot quieter, though.
Yeah. Well, my tracks are real greasy, too. So I got a bunch of spray crap in there with an old towel, and I was trying to wipe the tracks out. A lot of black goof and old rollers. So,
as Liam knows, no such thing as too much lube. Hey, Liam.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We would ask you to clarify, but
I
never
would
mind.
not.
It's the wrong channel for that.
See, if Liam came up with his own lube,
Well, he
brand
can't
of
use
lube.
Astro Lube. I've seen that on Amazon. Oh no!
That's where I was going with that.
Oh no!
Now, here's a question. The fact that Jason knows what that is, that's
Hey, I'm hip. I'm young. The fact that you don't know what it is lends
kind
the
of
fact
alarming.
that you're a lot closer to retirement than you say.
I didn't
Here,
say
I
I
got
didn't
one
know.
for Matt. You ready, Matt?
I'll be eligible to retire before I'm old enough to retire.
Yeah, I don't want to retire.
Hey, Denny.
Oh, I do. I'm ready to retire.
No.
I'm ready to just sit in a hammock, drink pina coladas, and die of starvation.
A couple years before I retired, I got on Amazon. I got a
Pretty
countdown
much.
timer. It counts down backwards. You enter when you're going to retire. It counts down backwards. And I looked at that thing every week, and man, it was taking forever. But I finally got there. It's awesome. I'm so happy. I retired around 48 or 49. I ran out my unemployment because I could, so I drew it for like a year and a half, and managed to survive. And then I got on my pension. So it's awesome.
Well,
I make almost the same amount being at home as I did when I worked, minus my vacation pay I was getting every month. But
you know, I have figured out that I'll be eligible. I'll be you same as you, Jason. I'll be eligible to retire sooner than I can afford to do it. So
yeah,
so it won't be happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
But I like working.
I'm just working so much.
I love you too.
That's cool. Aww.
Who put that up?
Matt.
That's my favorite one.
Oh, that's nice.
That's cool.
Oh, they're in color.
Yeah, throwing his tiger though.
Read the comment there. It's kind of funny.
I think I used to have a jacket with that on it.
That's true. I did some work for my son the other
pretty.
day, and I was tired. And I'll be retired. I was retired yesterday.
Yeah, tired again tomorrow. The rest of us. Yeah.
He was sore yesterday.
Yeah,
I have to reprint
when I got home. My
those
back
ones.
and killing me. My
It didn't
knee
came
was hurting.
out so well. So
Yeah, you
that was just test
you
print.
should do that in resin. That'd be better in resin because the text is
Yeah.
so small.
Chris Kersey was way off in left field trying to pronounce focus. It was kind of, I don't remember what he said at the beginning of the stream, but it's pretty funny.
Oh, did he call it
Everybody-
fucus or something?
Yeah, it was really, it wasn't even focus. It was something
Oh, I
different.
gotta watch. I
But
gotta
everybody
see
in the chat
that.
was typing focus.
A
That's
lot of
funny.
people are calling it focus.
Actually, the focus is right now printing.
Yeah, it's pronounced the same as the word focus.
Yes.
It's like
I feel like
Amazon.
Chinese companies should just go on Fiverr and have a U.S. person just
Translate.
proofread something for $5. Give them some feedback for $5. Maybe you don't want to call your 3D print snaily. Maybe you shouldn't call it. Maybe you shouldn't spell it that way. You know,
Like yeah, the 2 trees one.
On-
Yeah,
On Facebook, when you PM somebody, a lot of reps, I've had to ask them the pronunciation. I would hyphenate it how I thought it was spelled, and they'd tell me yes or no. Or there's an option there you can tape record on Facebook Messenger. And just tape a quick message and ask them, is it this way, number 1, or is it this way, number 2? And then they can just type back and tell you.
yeah, I do the same.
Look,
Especially ones I struggle with.
like the
I
Creality.
I did that with focus. I actually messaged them and said, "Is it pronounced this?" And I used U instead of O's and stuff like that. I had to enunciate it, and then I actually wrote the word focus,
Get in the
and
trash.
she said it's the last one. So
Comgrow, Hugh from Comgrow that we deal with when we watch the Comgrow streams on the lasers. He's one of the reps. He's on screen. His email, and I think I mentioned this last week or to Liam, his email says "Bang Us Hugh," and his American name is Hugh. And it's like, why is that your email? Bang Us Hugh. Is there a bunch of girls in the room that are saying, "Hey Hugh, bang us"? I mean,
You hear Daddy?
but that's exactly how it sounds out, and it's like it's odd that that's his email.
You hear
but you
Daddy?
also have to remember in Chinese,
That's what
your first name that you give is your
It's your last
family
name.
name,
Yeah.
Good girl.
and then your last name is
Yeah.
second. So,
Good
like,
girl.
you're Jerry Knapp. In China, you'd be Knapp Jerry, is how you enunciate your
Like
name.
Like
Dora-
when you see
Dora
Dora,
Ding,
it hurt.
Dora-
Like most of her stuff says "Ding Dora,"
Yeah, Ding Dora.
but her
Dora.
Yeah,
name
well,
is
yeah.
Ding.
But Dora
I mean,
is
it
her,
could be,
is her
but it's
Christian name,
not.
and Ding is the family name.
Right.
And then most people go by
also-
like Arion Lily, or whatever. They go by the company name. So
Mhm.
a year or two later, you might still be dealing with that email that name, but it's a different person because that person moved on because nobody stays with these companies forever.
Yeah.
Somebody else takes over their spot. So when you mention something you've done, they're like, huh? Well, then you realize you're not talking to the same person.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Happened me a few times. Happened me with Sun Lu. They were supposed to send me the S2 dryer.
Yeah.
And they said they're going to do it when it's ready for release. It got ready for release. I pinged them, and nobody had a clue because of the staff had changed. They turned over staff, so and they turn over staff really fast.
Yeah.
And it's never. It's often not the same industry. They have people who'll go from 3D printing and doing the marketing side of 3D printing to do marketing for dog collars.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had one that actually did that.
there's a news channel I watch on YouTube multiple times a week. I forget the name of it. It's a news broadcast about China, and there's so much crap going on over there. It's just unbelievable. What's everything going on right now?
Oh, you know the company Homers?
Oh,
yeah. TiVo, Homers, yeah.
Yeah, TiVo.
Hey, Sergio.
They're rebranding.
Again?
Hey, Sergio.
Wow.
They're rebranding to a new name called TiVo Up.
It's good enough
The
for
reason
Facebook. It's
why-
good enough for anyone else.
Well, the reason why they're changing their name is their last CEO embezzled money from the company.
Oh yeah, I heard about
He's
that.
gone.
Yeah.
He's now in jail, right? So I was talking with their CEO.
Aaron-
he reached out to me,
That's
and I think they've done a press release recently, and it's basically saying what happened, and he's trying to make it right. He was one of the primary backers. He's now the new CEO.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of their biggest primary backers that gave them money to do stuff, and the money he gave went into the other guy's pocket.
Nice.
So he's in jail now. The old CEO is in prison, and the new guy who's taken over used to be was their main backer. He's now running the company.
I forget the man's name I dealt with TiVo a few years ago when they switched to Homers. I forget what his name was, but he said he didn't want to. Huh?
Derek.
No, Derek lives in Texas. He's American. I'm talking about the guy that owned TiVo. He said he owned TiVo or ran TiVo for them, but he said he didn't have a computer at his own home. So if you don't have your own computer, you don't own the company because that isn't possible.
No, actually, I wouldn't say that because some CEOs work until 10 o'clock at night and then they go home and they get away from the office.
He said he had something from when he was in college or something. I said, well, that didn't really make sense to me. But
well, I do
actually
know.
have a tarantula.
Yeah, I do know that their CEO, their old CEO, is in prison.
The average income in China is like 400 and something a month, and then a lot of people don't even make nowhere near that.
It depends on where you are, where you're based in the industry you're in. I know people who make really good money in China. I've been there. I've worked over there for a while, so it all depends on the industry and the area.
My favorite was I would get emails. Hi, I'm your new rep. You know, fill in the whatever company. Jeff. Okay, if you call you're not Jeff, but okay, because that's probably the best way I'm going to be able to say it or remember it.
Yeah, they choose Christian names. Yeah.
Yeah,
Long
things
stream,
that you'll be familiar with, and yeah.
Yes, Andrew. Quentin Tam,
Okay.
that's right.
Yeah, but
that's
when
his
you
name,
misspell
Andrew.
Jeff, come on.
Astro printer, Quentin Tam is the man I'm talking about that I used to deal with.
Yeah, he's
on
gone.
TiVo. And then when he went to Homers, they were going to come out a resin printer, and they're going to send me a Homer and a resin printer. It never happened. And then
Well, they're the same company.
Toilet and
TiVo and Homers are the same company.
the TiVo Tarantula Pro was an awesome printer. I built it from scratch. Yes, I got it free, but that was my go-to printer for a very long time. I eventually sold it because I usually stick with my bigger printers. But it
I
printed
have
great.
the Homo Odysseus.
Alex is the guy that's in
So
prison now.
terrible.
Andrew, Alex is in prison.
Okay, I've never dealt with Alex, but it was Quentin Tam that I dealt with.
No.
You probably will never deal with Alex.
Well, there were two companies.
What you do?
Remember,
He did a sell next
TiVo
door.
and Homers are two
He's in
companies,
prison.
right? TiVo and Homers are two separate companies that merged together to do 3D for 3D printing, right? And Alex, Alex is not. Alex was in charge of the Homer side of things, if I remember correctly, and they have totally broken connection with Homers. They're nothing to do with them anymore. So they're going pure as TiVo because they were two companies, right? They were working together. They're going pure TiVo now, and they're calling themselves TiVo Up. And the new guy that's taken over as CEO, he's having nothing to do with Roth.
Yeah, I think the Homer was all plastic. I didn't like the space, the design of it, but
Yeah.
the TiVo had a lot of metal on it, aluminum. It was nice little printer.
Well, they are doing a lot of work because there was a Kickstarter, and the old CEO ran with the money.
I know my Homo Odysseus is still in my garage because it's so terrible. I mean, just the bells, they're terrible.
Is that a Homer's?
Yeah, Homo Odysseus. I mean, I printed 2 or 3 prints and I said, no, I can't print with that because I tightened the belt. The belts would get loose again, and it's just an incredibly stupid
what's
printer.
happening is the new guy, he's trying to make everything right with the users that the last guy screwed over. He's trying to make it all good with them, and that's great. That's great news. He wants to do good.
Yeah.
He's a proper
I
businessman.
tested one.
Yeah, but no, but he's a proper businessman. He wants the company to succeed. He wants to make money. They actually thought about shutting it down, and he decided, no, we're going to fix this and we're going to get it right, and we're going to be good, and we're going to make right with all those people who never got their printer or their money back. We're going to fix it, and so that's his whole goal, is to do that, and given that, he wants to make it successful, and he probably will, because apparently he owns about 4 or 5 other businesses, and they do really good. Not in 3D printing, but he has a couple of other businesses he's involved in. That's how he has the money to back TiVo. But he wants to make it right because he put so much money into the company. He wants to fix it and get it right.
TiVo Tarantula Pro is my first free printer sent by a company to review. Well, it wasn't actually free. You do videos, etc. That's your time and money. So, but it was sent to me free of charge. A friend of mine in Texas, Derek, had referred me to Quentin Tam. He put the money in my PayPal account. I ordered it directly off Amazon. He wanted to know, do you know anybody else interested? So I referred Richard from the First Layer, Jim from the EduTech, and a friend of mine, an acquaintance here in Las Vegas. And they had nothing but runarounds and hassles. They eventually got them. And then Jim EduTech, he was told that you can give one away. So Jim done a giveaway. Quentin Tam never sent it out. Screwed Jim over, which made Jim liable. So whatever happened to that, I don't know. But I personally had no problems with him. He put the money in my account. I ordered it. Wham, bam, done. But when I referred to other people, there was a lot of hassles and a lot of problems. So
they had a history.
When companies ask me, do you don't know anybody else you refer? I have to be very careful who I refer that's actually going to do videos and not just dump all over the company or whatever. Because if I like the product and I refer, let's say, Liam, and they send him one, and then he's like, I don't have time to build it. I'll do it in 6 months. Well, that makes me look like an idiot. So I'm the one that referred him. So you got to be careful who you refer for different products or who you're dealing with.
But they had a history of doing that.
Yeah,
and that soured them in the eyes of a lot of end users, and they got a lot of bad reviews because of it.
And then Sunlu, the same thing with the dryer. They sent me one to review, and I had it before people that backed it even got it. And then when they screwed up their money situation, people on Amazon were ordering before the backers got it. So that would put a bad taste in people's mouth there also.
Yeah.
But
I think this guy seems to want to do the right thing, and that's nice to see. From my communications with him, he seems to be that's his goal, and he seems to be a goal-oriented guy. So I hope it comes through, because they did pretty good with their hardware. They didn't liaison enough with the end users to get them to test product before they released it, but that can change, because this guy seems to want to change things. So if all that goes well, hopefully he'll turn it around and make it a success again.
Denny, on Loyal Moses over on Twitch, and people from the community were printing out these little farm sets with tractors and a little barn and hay bales and carts. I seen your message in private chat. I shared the link on my group, my page, and on Liam's page, and on 3D Print Noob's page. People can click on that link, and anywhere in the world, if there's a family in need and they want to order these for their small children, they can get on there, order them for free, and they ship for free. Just click on the link. People go to the page, and they can order these.
Nice.
It's kind of like Toys for Tots, but Loyal Moses is backing it financially, and everybody in the community is pitching in to print these different parts.
Yeah, Loyal is covering the cost of shipping.
And he's boxing them up and all that, him and his wife.
Yeah, but anything done within this, but your product you print is out of your material, but he'll take care of the transportation and so on, boxing up and transportation.
Well, that's the expensive part now.
It is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's also marketing.
Yeah.
It's big marketing is what it is for him. But it's a good cause. I understand the cause behind it too.
9.
Well, you should reach out to them, Dominic, if they still owe you money from the Kickstarter.
Andrew S.
Or Andrew, sorry, because the new guys want to make it right.
You guys ever and gals, you ever print something when you're doing
all the time,
setting up, your flow, your extrusion multiplier, and it prints like you set it to 1 and you print it, and it prints right at that spot where you don't know if it's under or over extruded, but it's not right.
You want to show us?
Well, yeah, here if you can. The lighting's not great.
Yeah, you need front lighting. You can't see any.
Yeah. You can kind of see it's off a little bit, but it's okay.
Well, why don't you just do get out your meter and do
awesome, Dennis.
Calipers. Calipers is the word you want, Liam.
Yeah.
And then make a multimeter to this.
No, yeah. But when you get calipers and just measure the distance and then do an extrusion.
E-step correction. Yeah, but it's not.
That's the right way to do it.
Is it that, or you
not
want to
necessarily? It depends on what you're printing, right? So, if you want it to be, if you want it to be, if it's functional, you want it to be what you set it as. If it's visual, then you want it to look good. Who cares if it's 0.2 millimeters off? So there's
no, but I'm talking about you said it was under or over extruding. That is a precise measurement to make sure you're pushing the right amount of material.
That's your E-step, but your
I never did agree with that.
Not necessarily the same.
But
because especially because the way I hold calipers is different than the way you hold calipers, which is different than the way Kieran holds calipers. So
I hold them upside down.
That throws it off. You're right. I measure in inches.
How to use it?
Because it gives me bigger numbers.
Andrew, do a video about it and post it on their Facebook group. That'd be the best.
At least it's consistent all the way around the thing.
Do a video on it without cussing in the video and post it all over the place. That's how I would handle a company that wouldn't come through for me. Let everybody know about it.
But Andrew, the new guys are after taking over the company through TiVo. I would reach out to them now because there's new people in there running it. They have new support. They want you to reach out to them to say, "I backed this and I never got anything out of it." They're actually actively asking people to tell us what happened so we can help solve the issue. I saw the verbiage that the CEO wrote. I can't remember where it's posted now, but I actually read an open letter he sent to his team and publicly. And in that, it actually says, please contact us and tell us. So I would do that.
If I'm on these flags that I'm making, I've got that union that I showed you. It's like 7 1/4 by
on the router,
10.5, whatever it was. I don't remember exactly. But there's a calculator online. If you go to flag, whatever, you enter any one measurement of your flag, and it gives you the measurements for all of it. So if you roughly want to make anything, any particular size, put in one side, and we'll give you the dimensions for the whole flag. But even in inches, it gives me numbers like 7.25. That'd be 7 1/4. But it's like 1.0353 blah. I can't pull out a tape measure and use numbers like that. If I had
that's why you do everything in millimeters. So it's
and then
easier.
I go to millimeters, it'll get it.
It always looks bigger in millimeters, Liam. That's why.
Well, we all know the reason why he wants things to look bigger as well. But no, but if we do millimeters, the measurement is more precise.
It is
We
more
don't.
precise.
We don't all know. We don't all know, Liam. Can you tell us more?
You need to
When
watch
a
the
number
beginning of the
goes
stream
into
when Betty
infinity,
talks
do
about
I
size.
just take the dot?
Can
If it, let's say it's 25.
Can you give us some scientific data on that?
So Liam,
I think you need to talk with Betty about that one.
He needs to get his multimeter out first, Jason.
Liam, if it's 30,
Oh, look at her! Look at her face. She's trying not to. She's being nice,
Somebody's
Jerry.
being an antagonist.
Sorry, Jerry. What were you saying? Forgive me.
Never mind.
No, please.
Okay, say it. Speak.
Go ahead, Jerry.
If a number goes on into the infinity, like 25.675, blah 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 blah, do I just go with the 25.7 and try to find
Round it up to two
Unless it
points.
rounds
Yeah.
Hang on, let me just work that out for you, Liam. Let me just work that out for you.
Yeah. Round it up to 2 decimal points. You
I
got a
know, but
slide
what
rule
I'm
still?
measuring is too big for me to pull a tape on the marks on.
No,
I'll figure it out.
no. What you can do is, if you have a meter stick, you can use a meter stick to mark it out, and then whatever's short of that, you just measure the shortage of it, and whatever's less, is subtracted out of a meter. So you can use that way to get there, because the
That's a
caliper
good thing.
obviously
The
has
good
a
thing is,
limited
Liam,
space.
you can always make it bigger, so that's okay.
So Kieran likes slide rules and those what are those whistles? What are these slide whistles?
Yep. Tin whistles out. So.
So yeah, Jerry, you could just use a meter stick if you have one, and use that as a grading, and then from there just subtract out of it to find out where you are.
Yeah.
That's
If
the
you
way I
want
would do it.
if you want a whole number, Jerry, use a whole number, round to it. If you want to set a specific number of significant digits, like 1 or 2 or 3, you can do that too. So if it's like x.223, you can go
Round
with
down.
22, or you can just go with x, or if you, whatever you want to do, and then try it, see what it looks like when it comes out. If it just looks a little off one way or the other, play with it.
Points of a millimeter on a large object. If you're measuring over, let's say, 100 millimeters, 1 millimeter off is not much. But at 100 millimeters, when you're doing 400 millimeters, now you're off by 4 millimeters.
When I built my first patio cover out back, it's a 10 by 20 patio cover on my house, I was off by, I don't know, like 3 or 4 sixteenths of an inch on one side.
That's
No
nothing.
big deal. But it wasn't when I got 20 foot away, it was a big deal. Now it was way off. You could stand back and look at it, and you could see it, it was a big difference. So
Yeah.
a small amount.
All right, guys.
as
I'll
go
see you
out.
guys later.
Yes, it does.
See you, Matt.
Take
Bye,
care, Matt.
Thank you.
Right, Matt.
See you in 5 minutes.
That's funny. It's
But
true.
it's true.
That's why
It's true.
funny.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. No, but yeah.
Always
So
round
yeah, rounding up is fine. If you're on a small, like on a 3D printer, 100 millimeters is a lot of distance to measure for accuracy, right? Sorry. But when you're talking about something that's a meter long, or 2 meters long, or 10 feet long, if you have a really big CNC, being off by, if you measure 100 millimeters and you're off by half a millimeter, at 10 meters you're off by a lot.
And I hadn't reset
Right.
the CNC board when I had that error. Like I said, I made 3 or 4 plaques. They came out perfect. Then when I laid out this union and I put that on there and I went to start the job, luckily I hit the emergency stop button. It was like 3 or 4 inches off the board, and it's coming back to it. I had to stop it. It's like, what in the hell? So I checked the travel when I was way off, so we reset it. I reset the board after a couple of times. I reprogrammed in the correct dollar amount for 102, 103, whatever it was, and now it's working. But I don't know what screwed it up, unless it's just
The board reset, because the board reset goes back to the compiled firmware settings.
I hadn't, but I don't remember resetting it.
Compiled firmware settings on the board.
I don't remember resetting it, but before that happened, I remember we reset it when we were talking.
Yes, but Jerry, when the firmware is compiled and you do all the settings in the conf-H, which is done on the board by the manufacturer, they're compiled settings and they're stored by default in the NVRAM.
So if I
what
save the
happens
file
is,
like we talked
when
about
you-
by hitting $, I'll
Yeah.
save it in Notepad and give it whatever name so I can find it. if it screws up again, I'll go to $, and I'll see if those numbers changed.
Yes.
If they haven't changed, but it's traveling wrong, then I'll know it's something else.
Yes, but if it does, and chances are when we redid them, it's fixed it, right?
Yeah, I hope.
So my guess is your hard reset goes back to factory reset, which pulls in from NVRAM the which is non-volatile memory, right? Which cannot be modified because it's forced in when the firmware is written, and that's what it's reading. It's reloading that, and that's why it was off again. NVRAM stands for non-volatile random access memory, and that's what's happened when you do a factory reset. It's reloading the firmware compile settings out of there.
Denny's got a question. How do I silence the printer head going down? Earplugs?
What do you mean by going down? You mean when it's
What
moving
makes
in
that grinding noise when it goes down? I don't know if I had
When
any.
it's homing, when it's homing.
Drivers.
Yeah, it could be the
I use
speed.
some silent stepper motors.
It could be it's your steppers, and it's probably the speed it's moving at as well.
Oh,
Try moving it down a slower speed and see if it makes a difference. The other thing that often happens is your Z rods are often like, where's the sound? What type of sound is it making?
From the Z rods.
And what
Is it
printer is it?
like a vibration sound?
Yeah.
It's because your Z rods are not straight. Your Z rods, when they're in, what happens when your Z rods, which the top of them is not attached to something, when it's moving quick, they vibrate because they're rotating quickly, and they actually shimmy, they vibrate, and that's introducing sound.
He just homed it a minute ago, and I just heard stepper drivers, typical printer talking.
Well, it could be stepper drivers too, because he does have an 8-bit board. It syncs to him. I've heard it. So,
well, Jerry, that's the thing. I don't understand 3D printer language.
Well, okay.
When it talks when it goes down.
Well, you
Yeah, so that's so.
What
but it could
printer
be
is it, Denny?
The rods are not perfectly straight, and they rarely are.
Denny,
when they kind of rotate around when they're moving, and that will, at high speed, that will introduce a vibration.
Well, yeah, but not significantly though.
Oh, I had a printer that did.
That's overblown. Anything that's visible, people will take that and say it's the end of the world. But whipping around on your Z rods does not introduce a significant effect unless they are severely out of.
I have seen this on a printer. I have actually seen it on a printer because the rods were long, and I saw them vibrate. And I 3D printed a mod that puts a bearing on the top of the Z rods because there's nothing supporting them, and it printed fine after that, and then went away. It was actually the rods vibrating, and I actually had video and sent it to the manufacturer, and they said, "Oh, we don't have a fix for that."
Then that's a separate issue or a compounded issue from the rods not being perfectly straight.
It is.
They can whip around, and that's fine. They can be constrained, and that's fine. They can not be constrained at the top, and that's fine.
Yeah.
It's more into the construction of the design than it is inherently just from that Z rod not being perfectly straight.
Liam?
That's
I'm
just not it.
I'm trying to find the video. I'm seeing if I still have it on my phone.
Did you send it to Alex?
Send what, Alex?
You said you sent it to the company. You got a video of it.
Alex is in prison.
It wasn't that.
I know he's in prison, Brandy. That's why I have to. That's who he sent it to.
No, it wasn't
emails. Yeah.
Smart Alex.
I'm trying to see if I have it on my phone. I'm looking.
Not me.
Yes, you.
Who said that?
I know nothing.
Anybody in chat have any questions you'd like to pop in and hang out? You're welcome. Ask any questions you can, and we'll try to answer them if we know the answer. And then if we don't know the answer, Liam will.
We will make something up.
So, Jamie, that homemade jam, is that your
See,
channel
I'm
name?
funny sometimes.
Never.
What was that, newbie?
Well, Jerry, the question is it funny, haha, or funny looking?
Hold on, 3D.
There's like 4 people talking.
What?
Say it again.
No, I was saying the name of your channel, Jamie. Is that the Homemade Jam 339 or 3D?
Yeah, Homemade Jam 3D.
Okay.
I accidentally bought some jam instead of jelly about a month ago, and I hated the jam. I finally finished it, and thank God I like grape jelly, but I don't like grape jam. So anyway,
I couldn't
You still
think
haven't
of
finished
a
the
name
Vegemite
for
yet.
my channel, and I didn't just want to call it Jamie.
uh-huh.
So I make stuff from like homemade stuff, and Jamie is jam. So yeah, homemade jam. Now I just got to try to figure out a logo.
See, if this were a PC forum, that would be homemade jammed.
Yeah.
Is your name really?
So good thing we're in 3D printing.
No, if it was a PC forum, it'd be homemade blue screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Jamie, is that your real name?
Jamie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm named after my grandpa.
Okay. Because
Cool.
you know, on YouTube, you never know.
Yeah.
Like Betty Boop is Brandy. I put her name Brandy on their 3DHP instead of Betty Boop. So
Unfortunately, I'm married to him, so I have to be Mr. DHP.
And Liam is really Ike.
Yep.
And in my case, my name is actually Disabel.
I've been called much worse.
We like you, Liam. You're a good guy.
See,
It's amazing she can say that with a straight face too. She didn't even
What's she
didn't
saying
have a
that
straight
to?
face.
That's my favorite person. That's Karen.
lots of people don't like their names, so they choose other names sometimes.
Yeah. That explains this. That explains this one.
Isabel.
Decibel.
But hey, Karen's a nice name.
Okay, Karen.
Don't let him get away with that, Karen. Have a comeback.
Why? I can't help the fact that he says it with a funny accent. You know, that's what it is.
I like your name.
I'm gonna have to find something now and like an Ike and a Karen. Have a Karen.
Yeah,
Have a picture I can pop up. Oh no, Karen's here.
Yeah, I don't have that video anymore. Pity. No, I actually had a video. I must have deleted it because it was flooding my.
I'll get a woman at Walmart in a store with her hands on her hips, and I'll cut out the head and put Karen's head on her head or something.
That wouldn't be nice, Drew. Now.
It'd be funny though.
I'd imagine.
Yes, Jason, it would be funny. You're exactly right. It would be funny.
Sometimes, you know, the truth just hurts.
Take care, Sergio.
Can't help it.
Yeah, we don't want to hurt Harry's feelings too much.
Well, the reason I'm sitting down is because you can't see my skirt, so that's okay.
Later HVAC.
John can.
Yeah. Well, lucky tripod's upskirt cam's not on, so it's okay. They get a lot more than bargained for.
Oh, that's what he meant by the down under cam. I get it.
That was it. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we're a bad influence. Why are you on with us, Jamie? We're a bad influence.
Your channel could do so much better than being here with us.
We try to stay on track, but we just wander off.
But
here and
we
there.
do go off on tangent a lot.
The only time I stay on track is when I interview somebody one-on-one for an hour and I just have them on. That way, it's just about them, and
Yeah. If you see Kieran and Liam and I on at the same time, just
Then
keep
you're
going.
screwed.
Just keep going.
It means
Keep
trouble.
going. See who else is on YouTube. Maybe there's a
Yeah, it
news
means
channel or
trouble.
something.
Watch some eyeshadow.
When Jason was being Tim's tech support guy, my role on the chat was to see if I could break Jason's concentration. I did it a lot.
It's easy to do. I admit it.
You can see him reading the comments, and then he's lost it.
Our job on when we join other people's streams when they're doing like live builds and stuff, like on Tim's stream, our whole job when we join those chats is to be the antagonists. That's our whole role.
And they're good at it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Just telling you the truth.
Okay.
Hey, you know, we all got to be good at something. So.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That news show that I watch on YouTube about China all the time, it's called China in Focus. That's the show that I watch multiple times a week.
Is it
All the
focus
stuff
or is
that's
it
going on.
focus?
Yeah, it's spelled that way. Focus. That's what CUS. China in Focus. It's a good news show about everything going on with China. You don't hear
But she's
about
got a
it here in
point.
America,
If they spell it like focus, is it pronounced focus? When they spell focus, it's pronounced focus.
So Mylan is building the very first ever. Hey, do you notice this? Do you notice Mylan is building the very first ever red Falcon 9? Even SpaceX haven't done this.
That's what I had left, okay, Liam. I'm not joking, okay?
Be nice where he launches it at your house.
Don't worry.
I got room for another one. I can make a space in here.
Don't worry, Milan. There's no judging on this channel.
That's right.
There are sentences, but there is no
Is that a
judging.
bong or a
No,
rocket?
there's tons of judging. We just don't judge your prints.
Hey,
Newbie, you got to print the bowl to put on the bottom. Oh, it's a rocket. Never mind.
That's the other print.
Oh, you did the booster for stage 2. Okay.
Yeah, Jerry.
Look good.
We won't tell anybody else. Don't worry.
Okay, see those grooves along the side, Mylan? Mylan, do you see the grooves along the side?
Yeah.
There are inserts to be printed that
Get
go
all
into
lined up.
those.
So I thought I missed a piece, but the
Hey there, Tim.
yeah.
Finally, sanity on the channel. We have Tim arriving to have some sanity.
Wait now. Oh, Tim, did you get my email?
Yes, I did get your email.
Okay.
You let Sense and Sensibility in. Darn it.
Is it snowing? You got a sweater on. Is it chilly in Canada?
He's another crazy guy.
Dang.
How are you, G-Wig?
Is it cold in Canada? You're wearing a sweater.
No, well, it's a chance. Actually, for November, we hit 15 Celsius yesterday, which is what, about 63?
Okay.
So that's unheard of in November. So it's actually, we're having a very mild winter. It's just chilly in my basement.
We have cold weather. We have cold winds blowing right now.
Well, that's 20
Our
degrees
height
below.
today is 36 degrees.
Wow, Tim, for your temperature, that's 20 degrees below what it takes for like the folks in the neighborhood to start wearing their winter gear here.
Yeah, time to put the shorts on. Yeah, cut the shorts off.
I'm telling you, if we get into the 70s, there's like Uggs and snow Eskimo jackets and everything up and down.
It's 81 on my house right now. 81 and sunny. 81 Fahrenheit.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
See, I like that weather. You see, I like that heat. Here,
well,
I
you know
don't
what's
like the
crazy
cold.
about Vegas? There'll be cold days or cold weeks, but most of the time it's t-shirt weather year round. Most of the time.
Yeah, even winter is nice days, cold nights. It's the 40, 50 degree swings that bother me.
It's cold here.
No, yeah,
That's
it's chilly.
No, we're colder than that.
It's chilly.
Well, that's cold for me.
We're
wanna go to
our
Mexico.
height today is 36.
Come down and see me, Jamie. It's 30 degrees Celsius today. Is the forecast for the day.
How much is that in Fahrenheit?
How much is that in the rest of the world?
Fahrenheit, let's see. It's about 80, 85, 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well, 90 is too hot. 80 is okay.
No,
It's
I
currently
like
cloudy at 9 degrees.
I'm cold. I find I start getting cold when it goes below 70. When it's 70 and above, I'm happy.
When it's 70,
80, 90, 100, I'm outside in the garden. I'm happy as can be outside working in the garden.
Well, right now is the time of year I might have the AC on, and then at night I might have on the heater because the temperature kind of bounces up and down. So
the heater's
I
on
might
right
I might
now.
go from heater to cool to heater back and forth over the
Oh,
next
wow.
few weeks.
The heater's on right now. Your wife turned the heater on.
Oh, did you?
So you wouldn't like 85 degrees Fahrenheit, Jamie, at all. It'd be too hot for you.
Well, no, that depends on the humidity. We're
Yeah.
really humid here, so like when it gets like 90 to like 110 here, it is miserable
It is miserable.
because you
That's
walk
the perfect
outside and you're
word.
just like
Well,
sweat.
we're the same in Michigan because we're surrounded by the Great Lakes, right? So we got lots of water in Michigan, lots of Great Lakes. Not only Great Lakes, but we have lots of lakes all over the place.
Doesn't sound great.
Actually, I don't mind the humidity so much. It doesn't bother me. Actually, as I said, I go outside and work in that weather. When we hit 80s and higher,
Awful.
humidity goes through the roof here. The air feels heavy and it's thick, but I don't mind that. I don't mind working in that.
There are limits, Liam. I used to work in Papua New Guinea in summer, and you're looking at 115 degrees at 8 o'clock in the morning with 100% humidity. And you got
I
people dropping
worked
like
in
flies.
Singapore and the
That's
Philippines.
Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Wow.
if you want
That's
humidity,
Florida isn't quite that.
No.
if you want high humidity, you go to Singapore.
Good though.
I used to live in South Florida. Humidity just sucked. It just sucks. It's horrible. It's miserable. You open the car door and you just feel like dying. You don't even want to get in the car. You'd rather just die instead of walk. It's just bad. And then I went to Malaysia. And then you need like a respirator or a scuba tank to walk to
get the water out of the air.
Get your
That's in
mail.
your first week there, yeah.
That
it's
thing was
overpowering,
that was just dumb.
Yeah,
like this is just dumb.
Singapore is the same as Malaysia, right? Because
pretty much, yeah.
Like when it got the very first time I got there, like I came from Germany, and
Walk
I
off the
arrived
plane,
in Singapore,
bang.
and I'm walking out with my luggage in the cart, ready to get into a taxi or a car to get to where I'm staying.
The door's open. You walk
The
outside.
door's
and
open, and all of a sudden you get
and
smacked
outside
in
pushes
the face
back.
by this wall of hot, steamy air.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go.
That's how it is every time we get off the plane at the Cancun airport. You can just feel it.
It hits you like a wall.
Feel
Yeah,
the
but
air is very
when you're there
heavy.
a few days, it becomes normal then.
No.
I'm the opposite. I really adjust to the temperature really fast. So like when I got to Singapore, the first week was the toughest weeks. Was the toughest week because of the temperature. But after the first week, I was fine. I was walking to work in the mornings when it was 95 and it's obscenely humid, and it didn't faze me. And after a few months of it, I was out running around. I was out doing stuff all day long in the heat. It didn't faze me one bit.
No.
Actually, because I got so used to it that when I walk into
window of temperatures that I'll go outside.
No, I'm the opposite now because and for me.
Other than that, I just stay in the house.
No,
When's your custom table turning up for that, Tim?
What you doing, Tim?
I don't know when the table's turning up.
We're watching you measure.
No, well,
He's your brother. Come on.
I'm taking it off of the Lazy Susan. I have a feeling that when I go to measure my resonance, it's getting an overflow. I think it's vibrating too much.
Yes.
It would be. It would be.
No. Nope.
That's not
Doesn't work
gonna be
like
causing
that.
my error?
As long as your frame is sufficiently rigid and the print head stays equally to the bed, which is mounted to the frame, it does not matter if there's some wobble on the table. That yes, if you did it on the Lazy Susan and then you did it on a solid surface, you will have different numbers, but the effect will not be significantly different. No, so it should not be wobbling enough to throw off your accelerometer for input
I'm just
shape.
reaching for anything to try and figure out what's causing that error. So, yeah.
It's probably just user error. I mean, that's usually.
What is the error?
It's I'd have to rerun it again here and I forget the exact error, but when it starts measuring the frequency, so it starts shaking the head like doing the then Clipper crashes, and it's something about an overflow error, MCU something overflow. So
that's too many Marvel movies at once.
Recreate it. We'll put it on the screen and we'll figure it out right now.
Oh yeah, I can recreate it. Easy.
That's the Disney Plus series, the MCU overflow.
Are you going to be sharing the screen at all? Or no?
I could. Why is there?
You want me to just do it? Do you want me to just do it the easy way, Tim, and tell them what error you had?
Yeah. Do you know the error?
MCU shutdown. Move Q overflow.
Yes. Yeah.
set your clock monotonic to clock monotonic raw. Right?
Pardon?
Yeah.
How
the heck do you set the clock
hey, they don't call me tech support for nothing.
They do. They do.
Jason.
The clock monotonic thing was one of the answers I researched, and it said set the clock monotonic to clock monotonic raw. But that's like.
What are you doing? Down. You got bones? Look at bones.
And then Tim sent me like a question, and I think the answer I gave him just did the same thing to him. He was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll try tomorrow."
Pretty much.
Because I was like, "Oh yeah, I deal with that all the time. GPS servers, remote servers. It's just it's an oscillator frequency thing. Don't worry about it. Just that." And he's like, "Yeah, I'll come back to that one." I did the manual method. It was great.
Yeah,
I'm like,
leveling the bed
sorry.
fixes everything. If not, you got an air gap under the bed too. That could be it too. So.
Yep. Because Liam knows it's always the air gap.
He'll hear
It's the
about
air
that
gap.
30 years from now. We're not going to let him forget about
Oh,
that.
I'll hear about it forever. It's okay.
That fuzzy skin looks very realistic there, Jamie.
He's my big boy. He's a very large,
Ooh.
large cat.
Oh wow.
It looks like it's very dead as well. It's not doing much.
He's printed at 0.1 layer height.
That's all right then. Yeah.
I made him
Whoops, she
do that.
dropped it and broke it.
I dropped it.
Clearly, it's a flexible resin.
Yeah.
It's a flexi. Yeah.
That's funny.
Nikita, eat your bone.
Yeah, I haven't got into Clipper yet. I need to try and spend some time to get into Clipper at some point.
It's the future, man. You gotta,
Oh, I'm
you
not
gotta move
denying
to
that
it.
because it adds a lot of scientific measurements to optimize the print, right? So, and I like that. A lot of math and goes into it to get it right.
Yeah, it has more features refined than most others do currently. They
What
may
it
have
means
something
is there's
similar or
more
not
reasons why your print fails to memorize. That's all. It just means more things to go wrong.
Yeah. Whenever your SD card files, it's just more crap to set back up.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll have to look at it when I get time.
But
It's actually
are
not
all the
bad,
settings
though.
stored in that one config file, or are there multiple config files for it, Jason?
There are some things in the Clipper config, and then there's things in the printer config. But the things that are in the Clipper config are already based into the firmware or the firmware image when you write it to the card. So that's always there, and it gets updated, and that's why it's on the back end. The front end, which is machine specific, is what you set up. So if you save a copy of that, and the whole thing, let's say John did it and it just burned down, he could just put all new parts, throw in the SD card, and it would be right back to where it was, and then catch on fire again because that's where he left it previously. So you can do that. Where, like, similarly with Marlin, as long as you've got your firmware compiled, you can reload it again, right? You can reflash it. The benefits you get from not having to recompile is you can make those changes right there in the firmware and just restart the firmware without having to actually compile it and test it and flash it. You can just do it right from the terminal. So
yeah, Jerry's got wood.
Jerry, he's bored.
Yeah, Jerry's got wood.
MDF. I want to make a great big Aztec calendar, but I got to make sure the CNC is working properly, and then I got to do a test in midair to make sure it can do 2 foot by 2 foot. That way I can.
That's right, Jamie. We understand.
Well, you can test it by just getting the X and the Y to move that
Star Wars Aztec calendar. Say it again, Liam.
I said you can do that by just telling X and Y to move 200 and in one direction and 200 in the other direction, and make sure and mark it on the board. That's easy enough, to make sure it covers the right distance.
Yeah, well, since I don't have end stops, if it goes too far, it'll just crash. So I'll take it manually all the way one way, and then take it 200 if it'll make it, and then I'll bring it back to make sure it can travel that far.
Yeah,
it should.
What are you trying to make, Jerry?
A Star Wars Aztec calendar and one for Marvel. It has Darth Vader in the center and a million little things all the way around it.
For who?
A Marvel one?
Oh, I thought he said an Advent calendar. I was
it's like an Aztec.
And then he said Aztec calendar, and then that confused me. And so it's an Aztec, like the round one?
Yeah, and it looks like Darth Vader's in the center. It's got all kinds of Star Wars things all the way around it.
That's
a lot
cool.
of fine detail, 2 foot square.
That's cool.
Who's it for?
Paint it, sell it.
Yeah, I'm kind
There's
of
a
excited.
Star Wars, Superman. There's a whole range of them.
There you go. Okay, accelerometer query. Oops, how come you can't see that?
I don't see it.
Where did it
Bald-headed
go?
guy in a way.
Go down to your console.
Oh, it's better if I just go to my console. Yeah, okay, there we go. So we do accelerometer query.
So Jason gets another gold star.
So accelerometer is reading, fine, right?
Yeah, just sitting there under gravity. Yeah. That's
Okay, now we do
normal.
measure axis noise, and we have we have some good axis noise, not too high. 20, 20, 20, right?
Yeah,
Now,
it's about
now
equal. You'll see
now I have
more on
to-
the Z.
Now I have to home the printer.
Mhm.
Okay, that's what I got to do. I'll home the printer. Let's go back to the console, and then I'm going to run.
Hey, Zolan! How are you?
Oh, so hang on a minute.
Not sounding
That
real
doesn't sound
good.
healthy. Yeah, it doesn't sound healthy.
Yeah, I know.
Check your e-step.
May I offer that could be introducing some issues with.
Yeah, but that's.
Tim's about to set it on fire. He's so.
Is John there with you, Tim?
I feel responsible because I was like, "You got to do Clipper," and it was running great before.
Can I
Hey, Zolan, how's it going?
Hey, I'm doing okay. Been working on the stupid chicken pen, and also got a new laptop tablet thing.
Oh, cool.
Are the chickens happy in the new pen or not?
I don't know. They're still in Illinois. I got to go pick them up.
Are they going to be happy with the new tablet?
The new tablet's for me, not them.
Oh.
No, I picked up a. It can run Fusion 360 and a few other things just barely, but I got it mainly because my normal laptop I carry with me everywhere is finally dying.
You said finally. It sounds like it's a relief. It's finally going.
It is a 2014 Razer Blade. The problem with that laptop here, actually, I can probably show you.
The Razer Blade weighs like as much as a cinder block.
No, well, I'm okay. I'm used to that.
Yeah.
The problem is how they did their heat management.
It's a laptop.
Actually, I have a funny joke. Well, not a joke. A true story to tell you about a laptop. I was working at Dell, and one of the guys kept asking and complaining about his laptop being heavy. So I decided to have a little bit of fun with him. He was a senior manager, and he said about his laptop being heavy. So I went and checked it out, and his hard drive was full. I mean, to the brim, right? So I said,
so heavy.
I said, you have to clean up the scrap. And he said, why? I said, that's why it's heavy. And he said, no way. And I said, it is. I said, how does a hard drive store data? And I said, it stores the data because it's magnetically stored on the hard drive. And the Earth is magnetic as well. So you have two magnets pulling on each other. I said, you clean up the data. He said, your laptop will get lighter. You know what? He came back to me 2 weeks later and told me it worked. That's a true story. That's a true story.
Serious heat pipes, mate.
That looks pretty typical for a lap, especially a thin.
Yeah, notice there's no spread. There's no heat spreader. There is on the newer edition, but not on this one. They
Just
actually
straight
are
onto the heat
cramming.
pipes, yeah.
They are cramming the heat, the thermal compound, into the heat pipe gaps, and calling that good enough.
But
that just allows for better heat transfer, right?
Oh no, this thing. The number one complaint about this laptop from everyone is that thermal's just sitting idle.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I replace the thermal paste on my work laptop 3 times a year.
But those pads that they use for the paste is not good.
It's not pads.
Use proper
That's just the paste. That's just the paste.
It is literally just paste. Nothing else.
Yeah.
It's not a thermal pad.
Thermal compound. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've already replaced it twice, and it didn't really make any difference. It overheated so bad the last time it fried a new battery.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You turn around, you take out the hard drive, and you smash it with a lump hammer, and then you get the rest of it, and you put it into you put it through a
wood chipper,
a tree shredder.
No. What I need to do is get a CNC, make my own heat spreader, and stop it from being a laptop and turn it into something else.
Jamie. Hold on. What?
I have to find out why Jamie is laughing so hard.
We got to see what's going on with Jamie.
Did anybody else just see Danny's face change to a cartoon?
Yeah. There's an app you can get. It tracks your movement. You can change your voice if you wanted to, or you can change emojis.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Denny, change it back to your regular face. Or to the cartoon face. Where'd he go?
Guys, I have to drop. Dinner's ready.
Jerry, make it big.
For me?
I have. Yeah, I have to drop, guys, because dinner's ready.
All right. Thank you.
Ciao, guys. Don't forget Wednesday night. Hang out in my place, okay? My channel Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern.
We'll be there.
All right, guys. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Put it back
Bye,
on,
Liam.
Denny. Jamie wants to see it on a nice big picture. Put it back on, Denny.
Oh,
No, not me. The other guy.
The other cartoon face.
Oh, this one?
Yep. There you go.
You look like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, same program. Probably.
No, that is not the same program.
No.
Oh my God, that made me
No,
cry.
I think you have like the face rig. That's what it looks
Yeah,
like.
I'm using Face Rig. I tried to switch to animes, but it's horrible.
I live
perfect-
streamed for 2 hours as a demon by myself on my channel. I changed my voice and I sat there. But I don't know if anybody dropped in chat or not. But I talked for 2 hours. And I looked like I was using like what Zolon's doing, but I was a demon and I changed my voice. And I just sat there and talked to myself for 2 hours in the live stream.
So nothing different then.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to chat with the devil.
Yeah, that was the guy. That was the one right there that I used.
This is the one he was using.
Yeah. And with the voice change, actually, I thought I was hilarious, but anyway, yeah, it's
It
cool.
wasn't funny.
Yeah, you can pick all kinds of things and talk and make a move. It's neat.
Yep.
What program is that?
This one, Face Rig, which unfortunately is no longer supported. They came out with a new version. They named it Animes, and it uses a horrible amount of CPU.
Yeah, I haven't tried mine in a long time, but I have it on my computer.
Anyways,
There we go.
back to my normal. This one I actually tweaked.
Here's Kermit the Frog.
There you go. Go, yay!
Yay!
Oh, Lordy.
Yeah, we little things amuse us. It doesn't take much to set us off.
It doesn't take much.
No, we're easily amused.
Hey, when they start stocking up all the Christmas stuff at Walmart and we go there, I get to push all the buttons. I'm
No, you
right down the
don't.
aisle. My wife.
So you walk down there and push all the
both
sounds.
directions.
I would walk in a different way. I'm not related to him.
It's required.
That's why you get toys with dead batteries, because people like me want to play with them when they go to Walmart.
Hey, we don't need to be hearing about your toys.
Yeah.
And batteries.
Yeah.
You should be out there putting all those decorations that I showed you last week for Brandy there, Jerry, anyway. All those nice tech decorations, all those geek ones.
Yeah, Jerry, when you start printing my decorations on me, dear. Yeah.
She wants your Christmas decorations.
Yeah, I've got the files. I got it.
Yeah, you got the files, you got the film.
And I got printers and I've got film and I just got
You
to
can
do
print them on my printer, my Delta.
Well, there you go.
Can't put
It looks like you got all the printers now, Brandy.
No, just
Yeah.
the Delta. That's the only one I want. Oh, when he passes on, these are all going on sale. Selling all of them. Every single one.
There, I think she's got a honey-do list.
Yeah.
She's got something on the plan, yeah.
She wants her dining room back.
Yeah.
We never use the room.
Her dining room, her sunroom, her garage.
I don't care about the garage.
She wants to park the cars inside for a change, yeah.
I don't care about the garage.
Yeah, her paint job is fried. She has a 2002 Mercedes S320 or whatever it's called. The paint is the clear coat is completely flaked off the car. It looks like hell. It runs like a champ, but it looks like hell.
Yeah, but you live. Look where we live. I mean,
Wait a minute here, Jerry.
What?
3D printing and painting. Why haven't you fixed her car yet?
I have painted a few vehicles in my lifetime, but I haven't taken on her car. And I have emptied out my garage to paint my son's car years ago.
Okay,
He has to go and buy some more paint rollers there, Zola, to paint the roof. He needs some bigger rollers.
Paintbrush your car.
He doesn't print. He prints, but he doesn't paint. There are 1,000 things he can paint for me. Pie.
I thought number one, Brandy, was Betty Boop. That's the first thing he's got to paint for it.
Yeah, I left it up right there. She's going to hold it up now. Yeah.
We used to paint this.
And there's 2 witches laying
And the
there.
witch.
Yeah,
And
the
the
witches.
Her and her
Yeah.
mom are laying there on brooms, so I got to paint those, and then Betty.
You're gonna get smacked, Jerry.
I told her, I said, I asked her,
He's
do you
being
want to
smacked
Hey.
already, Jamie.
No, I
You
don't
missed
want
it.
Hey, at least he said witch. I call mine a bitch.
So Ron.
Yeah.
Now you need to understand. In a dog pack, who truly runs the pack?
Yeah,
Yep.
but then you need to call her
And I,
Alpha.
No, the bitch.
yeah. The alpha male and the bitch. Yeah.
No, my wife is who runs this house. She is the bitch. She's also a witch.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to see one of those witches come flying in from the back of the garage and hit Jerry in the back of the head.
I'm waiting to hear a round get chambered behind Zolon. Listen to round chambering.
My wife is actually
Whichever
in the
witch
kitchen
it is.
nodding in agreement.
My mom's coming down in December 20th. So that's when she'll be here until the 20th.
Yeah, my mother-in-law's a really sweet lady. I love her.
And he kept a straight face.
What was that?
So when are you going to get the chickens? When you have to go pick up your chickens?
Next weekend I drive up to Illinois.
Was that your printer, Tim?
What?
That noise?
That noise.
No,
that's my head.
Denny's. That's Denny's, I think.
Oh.
No.
Someone's printer.
My printer's working good.
It's working well.
And you know what the noise was?
Somebody's the grammar police.
Remember the noise, the crunching?
Someone. Thank you.
This cable got in the way of the Y's of the Y end stop, and
Okay.
so
You mean-
it was jammed. So
Ah.
I am waving a white
and
flag.
Jason may be a grammar Nazi, but I need to point out that Tim is in Canada. It's different grammar.
Okay.
Exactly.
You got that a boot, right?
And Kiwis spell things different than Americans too.
You knew it.
Anyways, I'm giving up on an
Canada
accelerometer
and the
for now.
South. We have our own. We have our own grammar in the South too.
Yes, we do.
I seen a YouTube video where this guy went and
Since
interviewed
Liam's
some,
left, it
some
just leaves
hillbilly
me and
people,
Tim to be the foreigners on the
Yeah.
stream.
and I couldn't even understand.
I
what
left
they were
South
saying.
Carolina and got an education. It's okay.
Is Denny a piece of bacon?
Yep. Definitely, yep. Yeah.
Not if you have to ask.
My brother and sister still say wash. I say wash. They say wash. They have a lot of slang words they use.
Y'all say creek too when it's a creek.
I say crick or creek.
It's a creek.
I call it a creek,
correct.
but you wash your car.
Yeah.
Yeah, say you wore that.
But you should.
Your sister can't say orange either, though, Jerry.
Sometimes my sister says orange or something funny. She don't pronounce orange right.
Oh, wow.
I got a friend of mine that can't say yellow. She says yellow.
Now you can change your name to Denny's.
He's missing the fried eggs, though.
Yeah, a boot.
That's funny. Yeah,
Tim
Jerry,
says the
my
boot
printer's
lot.
down again.
What?
My printer's down again.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Nothing to do with the sensor this time. It's gotta be because the bed unleveled. I gotta level the batting up again.
When you remove a print, do you have a flex plate on it? Are you holding the bed and not scraping it loose? How do you remove your prints?
I usually remove the prints. I just give it a little shove. That's it.
Are you holding the bed
No.
so you don't move it when you knock it loose?
No.
Go on.
And what I'm saying is, if you try to remove the print, the bed is jerking around, it might knock it unlevel. So
And
you'd
you
have
think
to
we're
hold it
easily
so it can't
amused.
move.
Right.
Sorry, Dennis, but we
You have
all
to
talk
re-level
funny.
it.
Yes,
And
we
if you
all
put a
talk
flex
funny.
plate on it, once you level it, you take off the flex plate, you're not jerking the bed around with your hands or anything. It's not
Yeah,
moving
it's a flex
crazy.
plate.
It won't knock it out of whack.
What printer do you have, Denny?
I have the same printer as
Guy from Rapunzel.
Yep. Tangled. The one from Tangled.
Tangled, yeah.
Yeah.
I
I don't know what's sadder. You knew what the concept, and I knew the
the
actual
movie,
movie.
but you knew the name. You corrected
and
me.
I have no children.
Is it a glass bed?
Yes.
You don't need a scraper at all. Just let it cool and it'll release on its own.
Oh, okay.
Usually when things get down to 42C, they let loose.
Zoan, do you have any kids?
You'll hear it.
I
sometimes if it's a
personally
big
do
cramp.
not, but I am a grandparent by marriage.
Like me. Okay.
Hey, Zoe,
Actually,
are you dressed
I need
right
to
now?
correct
You
that.
wanna-
To my knowledge.
Are you dressed right now? You
none that
want
he'll
to show
admit to,
people what
yeah.
you really look like?
Hmm?
You want to show people what you really look like right now or no?
Wait,
where's
that's
my
not what you
phone?
look like?
You don't do it very often. And you used to see
Where's
it
my
every day.
phone?
He may
Hey
not have
Google,
his hair fixed.
where's my phone?
He's not
Well,
bad
not-
looking.
Yeah, if he flips to the bacon piece, then I'll believe it.
Bad looking guy.
Well, Zolan she was streaming every week for a long time, and then he quit doing it.
Yeah, I'll get back to that soon.
More drones.
No, actually, printing. I got a whole bunch of printing projects I need to get done for my radio stuff.
But you got to get your shed sorted out first, though, right?
No, actually, front room.
Where you
Almost
going,
there.
Denny?
Denny's leaving.
He's leaving.
Oh, bye.
He's in the car.
Bye, Denny.
He's gone.
Seatbelt's not on.
Yep, we have to ping you for that one.
Uh-oh. Now he's back in his room. That's quick.
It's amazing.
We don't get out much, so we're happy.
Looks like I'm getting ready to leave.
You know, when it's 115 here, I wish I could go from the car to the house like that.
Cully Ford.
Or just
You need the car then.
Vegas is harder than Hades.
Actually, you know what? I would much rather walk outside here at 105 than walk around South Florida at 85 in the summer.
I agree with you totally there, Jason. It's
Yeah, the
hard-
humidity. You're just sticky and
You know-
wet.
you know
probably all the
what?
time.
It's just
You know what's sad,
gross.
Jason?
You take a shower and you need
All right,
to
guys. Here's what Zolan looks like.
see. He's not. You're very
No
Here's your
difference.
real Zolan.
No difference. Actually, the other one's less hairy.
My wife's always wondered what you look like. There's Zolan.
Say something.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, see?
I don't think you're bad looking, Zolan.
What was that?
You're very nice looking.
He's like what, 6'8", 6'5"?
Yes,
You're really tall.
he's a very tall drink of water.
6'9".
Wow.
Look at the door frame.
I'm
Door frame
5'7".
behind him.
Yeah.
How tall
Around
is your
5'8",
wife?
whatever.
How tall is what?
Your wife.
I thought
She's 5'2" or 5'4".
Oh my god.
Cool.
Same
Yeah.
thing, right?
As soon as I get that all cleaned up, I can get back on stream.
Okay.
Anyways.
Just have a word to Tripod. He'll tell you how to sort that out with a match and a can of petrol.
Or a quick 3D printer.
Yeah, either one.
Either one.
Well, I figure what'll have to happen one of these days is when I have the new house,
An insurance
and
fire.
the middle, sorry, not even the new house, the temporary house while we build the new house. I'll invite both Tripod and Justin over. And
Bring your own barbecue.
guaranteed one of them's going to set the house on fire.
If you just need the insurance money, there you go.
BYOB. Bring your own barbecue.
Bring your own tripod. Burn it down.
BYP. Bring your own printer.
Well, not your printer, but one of John's. That'll do it.
Or
anyone of
Justin.
John's.
Justin's actually had a printer catch fire on stream.
I didn't see that. What was the caught fire?
I don't remember which one it was. I think it was actually a Prusa. It was the heat bed. But we were all talking like we are now, and Dan and myself were like, is that printer on fire? And he turns around and goes, yep, it is.
Then
Well,
turned away
it kept
again,
getting
just
hotter
carried
and
on
hotter
talking.
and hotter, and didn't thermal runaway didn't shut it down probably.
Actually, I believe it was a short in one of the tracings on the heat bed.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's usually what gets the Prusas. Yeah.
Where is your priesthood, Jerry?
Out in the yard.
I don't think he heard you because you were talking.
Yeah, I'm
Where
listening.
is your priesthood, Jerry?
Well, I put the focus next to you, and I think I put the
Ow.
focus back on the shelf.
We'll translate for wife speak. Jerry, where is the Prusa? Because the sound cancellation goes on straight away, you know.
Brandy's asking.
There somewhere.
No, seriously, where is it?
It's the safety factor. It's the safety built-in safety factor. You know, the
Jerry,
wife talks, you switch off.
I lose stuff all the time in my hobby room.
Where is it?
I lose stuff all the time, and I look.
Where
for
is
hours.
the Prusa?
It's in that. It's in the room. Okay, it's in there.
That's nowhere.
Look around. It's there.
Why is it on the floor?
It'll be the only orange thing in the room.
It's on the floor.
Yeah, it's gonna be thrown in the garbage and jumping off the floor.
Well, since you don't clean the house, and I'm the only one that does, it will never get thrown away.
I don't clean your fucking room. You need to do that.
If that's the case, don't throw it in the garbage. Just set it to the side. I'll come through Vegas and grab it.
Okay. Come on through, Zolan. We'd like to meet you.
Careful, Zolan, because there may be a CNC, a laser to go with it.
I'm all good with that. I want a CNC and a laser so bad right now.
Well, you're going to have to drive like Denny because I live a whole lot closer.
Yeah, Jason could be here in about 40 minutes.
Yeah. The race is on.
Oh, he wins hands down. I'm a ways away from Vegas.
Hang on, what's that knocking at Jerry's door now? Where'd Jason go?
Do you live
But
in
I do have Jerry's address.
Jason, do you live in Seven Hills?
Southern Highlands.
Okay.
Behind Seven Hills, further.
Yeah, just on the other side, just on the south side of Anthem, by the executive airport.
Right next to
I am
6 Hill.
18 hours away from Vegas.
Wow.
As the chicken drives.
Be here quickly.
The chicken drives.
Well, I've driven
Yeah,
Lubbock 4 or 5 times.
Depending on the traffic on the 15, I can be there in under an hour. Yeah.
Last time I went through Vegas, it took me 2.5 days to get there.
Why?
Sounds like my car.
But that was because I went through Minnesota, North Dakota, Montana, Washington, and then through California before going to Vegas.
Well, you went the wrong way. You should have taken a left at Albuquerque. And gone to Stirrup.
Nah, actually, I could handle going to Colorado again. Anyways.
Colorado's awesome.
It's a road trip.
But you end up it seems like you drive a whole lot slower through Colorado.
Albuquerque has the weirdest.
No, you drive a lot slower after visiting Colorado.
Roads.
They've fallen your tires, have they?
No, because you don't want to get pulled over after stopping at a couple of the stores there.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, yeah.
Do you know the crazy speed limits in Albuquerque?
What's that?
There's some speed limits in Albuquerque that are crazy. Jerry, do you remember them?
I'm only hearing half of what you say.
Jerry,
What?
when we went through Albuquerque, do you remember those crazy speed limits in Albuquerque?
The crazy what?
Speed limits.
Oh, yeah, we went through some little town. The speed limit was like 13 miles an hour in a residential neighborhood. Something with some really crazy numbers.
In
It wasn't 10 or
Albuquerque.
15. It was like 13 or 12 and a half or something really dumb.
That's like North Florida when you're driving and it's like 35 and then all of a sudden it's 13 and that's when you get pulled over
Yeah.
instantly. Yeah.
No.
You've got to watch the speed limits.
Southern Georgia, aka the Panhandle of Florida, where they have the signs that adjust their speed limit. They don't change it until after you pass it, and then that's when they pull you over.
Then they point at you. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid going to New Orleans. My brother was going to Loyola there, and we took a couple trips down, and he pointed some things out, and I was watching the police officers pull up to where cars were parked, take the signs out, put them in their car, put new signs in, and write a bunch of tickets. We would watch it from the trolley.
Wow.
It was just like that. He was like, "This is the most corrupt place ever."
Notice Jackson said while driving to New Orleans because he never remembered the trip back.
That's crazy.
So they changed the speed sign or the parking signs in situ. Bastards.
And here they've got the digital speed signs now.
Yeah.
Which always kind of like I'm like watching them to see, like as you're driving past them, and it's like 65, and then you get right there, and then you're just waiting for it to go 55, and then the lights come on. That's what I'm just waiting for.
Where did I go?
That's entrapment.
When I go through a school zone, my wife's like, well, why'd you speed up? We're still in a school zone. Because the sign at the other end quit blinking. That's so when cops drive through it or people, you know when it's turned off. They got that.
Be careful with that. Because I was going through a school zone, and it stopped blinking, and I started to speed up, and the officer pulled me over because there was a child present in the school zone, in his car.
In his car?
Yes.
That's.
If I see one child, I don't slow down. If it says children, the sign says children. That's more than one. If there's one kid, that doesn't count. I slow down the school zone. If there's more than one, it's children, then I'll slow down.
I'll be right back, guys.
I would love to be present in that courtroom.
Children
I'll
means
be right
more
back.
than
I gotta
one.
pick my child out.
A child.
It doesn't.
I remember the first time I drove
Let him out of the box.
I mean, I thought the speed limits were very generous. It was like you're doing 85, and then for school zones, they only make you slow down to like 50. I think that's fair. Now, in my mind, that was miles per hour, and I just thought that was great.
Oh.
But, yeah.
Where was this?
In Canada.
Oops.
Yeah. That was before I learned. Yeah, that was before I
understood
really
metric system. Yeah.
paid attention to things. I was like, cool. Well, that's fair. You got to be kind to the kids. 50 instead of 80.
Other than a residential neighborhood, I set my speedometer 5 over, and I set cruise control. When I go to Walmart anywhere, I set my cruise control 5 over, and everybody's like, "Why do you set cruise control?" So I don't accidentally speed up and go too fast or too slow. I go 5 over. I've never been bothered anywhere I've ever driven. 5 over.
Do not do that in the little town I live next to. The cops will pull you over if you're more than 2 over and have out-of-state plates.
I've heard that about Trump too. Yeah,
got to get revenue somehow from the foreigners. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I set
I've
my
heard
cruise
that with
control
Trump
to
too. You
25.
speeding Trump at all, they'll pull you over.
Residential.
And it's what they're waiting for, especially near the end of the month, because that's when all the oil workers get paid.
Yep. My brother said that.
Criticize what? What's Denny asking?
So what I'm asking is that they're making a 3D print for a sink stopper.
For a plug. Yep.
But
oh, okay.
Yes. Okay.
So when I made one, I had to actually shrink it by 5%. Because I have an older sink, and the hole's actually smaller on the older ones.
Yeah, 35 mils and 50 mils are the two, but there's also another size. There's like more than one standard for sinks, depending on what they're used for. Like laundries are a bigger one. Yeah. So
and
there is
how
no
old they were and
standard.
who made
There is
them.
no standard sink. You got to check.
Okay.
What?
So calipers.
Hey Tim, you're not allowed to have machine guns in Canada.
Still not right, Tim.
No, it's my. Don't ask.
Are you streaming tomorrow night, Tim, or no?
Yes, I am, but not going to be quite what I thought it would be. It's going to be. It was supposed to be about input shaper with the accelerometer, but it's going to be manual input shaping.
Is Jason going to be there to keep the stream exciting?
I don't know.
Exciting-er.
He's welcome.
More exciting.
Surprise!
But I've done. I'm giving up right now on the accelerometer because I've tried 2 of them. I've wired 5 times. I've wired them up. Finally got it working, and then I'm getting this error. So
Tim, did you install Numpy to the Raspberry Pi?
No.
Okay, good. All right, because that would have thrown you off too.
Number one, I wouldn't know how. So, and Numpy sounds like a cartoon character. Numpy.
You know Numpy.
Oh, Numpy.
Denny, just to give you an example for sinks, in Australia we have 2 standard sizes, 1.5 for your vanities and 1 3/4 for your kitchen sinks or your bath. But we also have older ones which range from 1 inch to 2.5 inches. So there is no real standard depending on what you want to do.
US are 1.25 inches, kitchens are 1.5 inches. The plumbing.
That's the plumbing, but the drain size, the actual opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, the basket.
The plug size. Yeah, the plug size. Not the same as the pipe size, which is a pain.
Yeah, because I think the kitchen ones are somewhere around 3 inches here, and the baths are about half that.
3 inch. That's a serious size.
I think it's 1.5 inches in the kitchen. And the bathroom.
I think he's doing diameter, not radius.
Kids get sucked down the bath drain.
That's what I'm saying. The diameter is 1.5 inches, or 1 3/4 inches over here for most plugs.
Just print a whole bunch of different sizes,
or just
and then
can you measure it?
And then the rest
it's
of
a
them
prime example of needing a good set of calipers.
Yep.
Yeah, measure it.
Measure, print out a small cylinder, and then
the thing is,
scale it accordingly.
I don't know how to use calipers.
And if you print it in base mode.
Oh, if you get a digital one, then you don't really have to know how to use it. Yeah. You just slide them around. I mean, one like this, $20. Yeah.
So when you're measuring something like the sink drain, you're going to use the littler points, because the little points on the top,
the interior,
of his,
the inside,
do the inside of something instead of the outside.
Yeah. Those two.
What brand is that, Jerry?
Oh, I see. So the inside.
Nico, N-E-I-K-O.
Oh yeah,
Nico's pretty good. Nico's a pretty good.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
I mean, I'm not measuring to the nth micron, so for 3D prints, this is perfect.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's how you do your measurement.
Yep. For your sink, there, Denny. Yep.
And then
if you want to measure the outside, you use the other side.
Then you just reset it to 0, turn it off, whatever. You can lock it. It's got a little chart on the back. You can also use this down here to measure
depth. Yeah, the bottom one's for depth. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yep. Another thing you can do is do a sloped cylinder, so it comes out like a ring sizer almost, and then you can slip the cylinder into your drain until it gets stuck at the sides, and measure it right there. And now you know what your measurement is.
Mark it and measure it. Yeah.
Yep.
But that little camera I probed my sister's wall with, I got on Amazon. I started thinking about it. It's like, wait a minute. I don't have to be over there for 2 days. I jumped on Amazon. They delivered it the next day. $18.99. The actual camera is about that long, the size of a Bic pen with a light. Really long, stiff cord. You just download a couple different apps, find one that works, and plug it into your cell phone. And it's cool to probe the wall and look around.
Yeah, I actually have one of those. I was going to mount to the print head on one of my printers, so you could see it right at the nozzle.
Yeah. It worked great. She had a water leak, and I didn't know where it was, and I can't bust out the shower and bust out everything. So I started cutting small holes and probing around until I figured out where it came from. So it's worth its weight in gold for $20.
Horoscopes rock.
What are you doing tonight after this stream?
Somebody getting asked out.
Not much. Why?
I see you got that haircut. It's nice.
Yeah. Sure had
You
rulers to measure the parts on the bed.
No, I was going to ask if you want. We can jump on something after this, and we see if we get your accelerometer working.
Sure.
Okay.
I've got.
It's easier for me to see what you're doing than for me to believe what you're telling me you're doing. Wait,
I do that occasionally.
Did that come out?
That's not a lot.
I grab Liam or whoever, and I pull into StreamYard offline. StreamYard is a great program to use. You don't have to pay for it if you don't want to, and just call up your buddy or whoever, and you just stream together offline and chat like we're doing here. And if I got a problem with something, if I'm painting something, I need Jamie's help. She can pop into StreamYard offline, and she can help me just like what we're doing here.
But
I can show her what's wrong, or vice versa.
You don't paint, so
anyway, okay.
Jamie never has to worry about that.
Okay.
Because he doesn't paint. Jamie.
I don't paint very often, no.
He doesn't paint at all, Jamie. So you never have to worry about him popping in on
There's
you.
only 24 hours a day. There's only 7 days in a week, and it's really hard to make time to do things when I got this or that. And it's days fly.
Very important.
Well, the Beatles found 8 days in a week in the UK.
Yeah.
I would
You
totally
move.
move to Scotland if I could.
Just for the Scotch, right?
It's
No,
only the
Mm.
pictures. Only the
Just because
pictures
I
of
like it
Scotland are
there.
nice. There's really not a whole lot left over there.
So I'm going to run. I'm
Uh,
going to get. Apparently, my dinner's ready, so I'm going to run and get dinner.
All right,
And,
Tim. Well, thank you very
take care,
much for
Tim.
coming and hanging out.
And this
And-
thing is printing really well right now when I'm using manual input shaper. So I'm just printing a snowflake decoration.
That's
And,
resonance
Jason-
compensation.
Yeah, and I'll message you after a little bit after, and we'll maybe get that figured out.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. I'm
care, Tim.
home alone, so
Hi, Tim.
you know.
Okay.
Thanks for
Okay.
talking in, DeWitt.
Okay.
Take
Talk
care.
to you guys later.
Take
Goodbye.
care, Tim.
And then the crazies were left.
Yep, that's it. Just the insane ones. Yep.
So you guys know that I am a Marvel fan, right?
No,
Are
not
you?
at all.
No, I never noticed.
What?
No.
I mean,
Since
like,
when?
What's Marvel?
okay. Anyway,
They're
So-
little round.
I
No.
had to like
Yeah, yeah.
I've never heard
treat
of Marvel.
myself.
I just
What is
watched
that?
a movie this
Okay.
morning.
This is
So-
most
Jamie?
amazing. What?
Jamie,
What?
one of the puppies we placed, he's named, his call name is Loki,
Oh my God, that's so
and his
awesome.
AKC name is Glorious Purpose.
That's awesome. So, look, check it. But look,
What does it do?
because I'm a girl and I can't get into it.
Just hold it in, Kieran.
Face makeup. It's makeup.
Look at the beautiful.
Cool.
Not as
Look at the
not as good as
beautifulness
your
of it.
Right.
face powder one, Jason. But it's getting there.
It's not.
I like
Yeah,
the
I
blue.
got the 100-piece
Yeah, you got a 100-piece one for $5.
Yeah, the 100-piece is $280.
because I need more help.
This was $65.
What?
The
Wow.
the big one is
What's wrong with
$285.
Spatula? It's a lot cheaper and you get it by the gallon bucket.
Nice.
I have a whole
And it's
bunch of
only-
unique stuff if you need it.
But yeah, just because it's Marvel.
That's the only reason you got it, huh?
I'm a junkie. Yeah.
Hey, at least you can admit it. So that's the first step.
The first stage of is admitting it in public. Yeah, that's the first
Well, my
stage.
wife
But
collects anything Betty
I understand
Boop.
the problem.
My wife collects a lot
Marvel
of Betty
can
Boop
do no
stuff
wrong in my eyes.
The thing that I love Betty
and Broom.
It's but
Boop. And what?
so Andrew S is like, why would you spend that much on that? Well, conversely, I'll spend $200 on a hot end that I could buy any other hot end and it would probably print just fine
My Marcus Swiss wasn't that dear.
for $35.
Yeah.
She spends $65 on what she likes, and we're like, what?
But it's makeup. So, I mean, if I was going to use it, it would be functional. I probably won't.
So what's
Is that
the
Dennis
application for that? Would you-
Randy-
well, wait. Now, I mean, are they like screen accurate colors?
Like used by the actors? No, they're
Randy,
Oh, they're
They're
just colors in
made
general.
for
Brandy's mom worked for a
Read
clinic
that.
for many years and Dior, and $65 is nothing.
Okay.
yeah, $65
Was
is
that
not
your-
that bad for a good
was that your
palette. Urban
dinner
Decay is a
Exactly.
good brand.
Yeah, I don't know. Sandra's got like a lifetime subscription to
I stay.
like Sephora
I
or
spent
something.
$42 on
Yeah.
foundation.
Yeah, my foundation
I have
is
spent
60, 65, 60.
almost
Yeah, it's not
$800 on makeup.
Well, you don't need it, Zola.
You've spent that, did you say, Zolan?
But
Yeah,
good
stage-
quality
it was for
makeup
stage
will
work.
cost you that.
But
Well,
it
that's
looks
different.
great on you. I mean,
Yeah, you hardly even notice the acne scars now. It's
right?
going well.
I mean, the
Yeah.
brush lines they look so realistic.
Yeah.
You don't
I also
wanna
made the
see-
mistake
you
of
don't wanna
joining the
see brush
unique
lines in makeup.
pyramid scheme to help out someone.
Yeah.
What is that, Denny?
Is that the Flexi Dragon?
It's a bird.
No, it's the eagle that I made for college, and I left it there.
Isn't
Yeah,
an
okay.
eagle a bird?
Oh, that's
So,
cool.
yeah, that was from What's wrong with PLA?
Shush. Shush, Trash Panda.
Well, Jerry, I think I got it back up and running. I'm not sure.
Right, that's talking.
Even the most experienced people with printers occasionally have problems. They're like, "What the hell?" A month or two they might work fine, and then they might break down for a week. So everybody has problems. You'll eventually figure it out, and it'll be all good until it's not.
But that's hey,
Or
well
they'll
done,
be
Nick.
working fine, and then you just take it apart for no reason because you want to mess with it.
Yeah,
And
and it never works the same again. Yeah.
Or somebody convinces you got to have this hot end, or you got to try this, and you do, and it screws everything up. And then you might upgrade 3 or 4 things at once, and you're like, "Oh, it don't work right. What's wrong?"
Did you see the latest Vector 3D drop? The non-tool disassembly of a hot end, no tools required. Stripped it down to nothing. No tools.
That the lever piece of
yep.
plastic thing, I don't know about that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just so many points of leakage. That's the only scary thing.
Yeah.
Because a pressure fit like that, it's a
and when you're gonna have it going, yeah.
The hot end. The heat break was so small as well and very thin.
Yeah.
So what I missed while I took the dog out.
What was that,
Anything
Milan?
I said, what did I miss while I took the dog out?
You missed dinner. You missed dinner. Now you get nothing.
Zolon showed us dinner.
Man, see, Brody, you make me miss stuff all the damn time. You can't have this stuff.
Damn dog. Yeah.
The damn dog, I know.
Yeah.
Dogs.
The ball.
So there you go. There's Zolon's dinner for you. That's Zolon's taking for tea. Chicken and octopus.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Bad night.
Just don't overcook the octopus. That's the important thing.
Exactly.
It gets too chewy.
I love the octopus we had in Hawaii.
When did she say that though? That's my question. And in what context? Just ignore me.
Someone has to maintain the Ike standard since Ike's not here. Right.
That's right.
Yeah, that benchmark is very, 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 very low.
I'm still thinking about buying this and printing it.
No.
I could paint it up, put it in the garage.
No.
I saw that.
Cool.
No.
Yes.
I think his name is Paul, right?
No.
Paul. Yeah. Paul.
Nope. Not gonna happen. Nope.
What you got to do though is you got to get the one where the other hand is out like this, so you can put your keys in it when you come in and keep it right by the front door.
Yeah.
No, Jason.
Jenny, that's Loki. He's even got his Loki tag on.
Dang, I got to be nice. Jerry knows my address.
Beautiful dog.
You're supposed to agree with me, not him. No. The wife is always right, Jerry.
We're talking right now.
This thing just
You're not printing
triggers my
that.
brain.
Calamari chicken.
You're not printing that, Jerry. Until you pay my benefit.
Do it.
No, he has to print my benefit first, and then he can.
Jerry.
I think
It's
it's Jerry.
hammer time.
I'm gonna get hit by that witch, the printed witch, the 3D printed witch, the little plastic one.
If I ever see you at the
Way to
fair,
I gotta go to dinner.
Way to save it.
There's nobody home, but I'm being called to dinner.
You work at the airport, right? Jason? You work at the airport, right?
Huh?
You work at the
Brady's
airport,
coming to your
right?
house.
Well, the good thing is I work in the air traffic control tower with armed guards
And
Okay,
secure
well,
doors. Yeah.
I'm done taking
Right.
going to work.
and access control everywhere.
The thing is though, the locks are on the outside of the doors. That's the thing. Jason hasn't quite worked out why yet. The locks on the outside, not the inside.
I can't get them to open, but they still wave at me.
And they slide the food in under the door in a slot for some reason. Yeah.
I sure am glad you're in the tower when I'm flying out in Vegas on Southwest or Delta or Frontier or.
2 months of solid printing. That's a lot of printing.
It's a 1-to-1 MacGyver. He's going to print. He's saying.
Dennis, the the Revo. I haven't tried it.
Oh, okay, yeah, right
It
here.
looks interesting, but I don't know that I want to go through the hassle of rebuilding a hot end or reprinting a hot end assembly to see if I like it or not. I don't.
Hello, Mr. Jamie.
Yes, Mr. Jamie, how are you?
This is Chad.
Hello,
Chad.
Welcome to the
Hey.
madhouse.
All right.
Welcome to the madhouse, there, Chad.
It
Yes,
was
the
my,
bad
it was
house.
my night to cook dinner, so I stopped and got it.
Wasn't
Awesome.
that the
Oh,
guy's
perfect.
name in Weird Science? Chad?
Chad?
Or was that
Chet.
Chud?
Chet.
Chet. It was Chet.
Chet.
You're right.
Chet.
JD.
All right,
Nice to meet
y'all. My case
And
is
he's not
here,
made
so
a
I'm out.
All right,
Your,
well,
dinner, your dinner's arrived, Jamie.
very
Bye,
much,
Jamie.
Jamie.
I
Yeah,
actually really want to try out the
Uber Eats is
Revo.
Good night.
Plug
I
in your
wanna switch.
microphone. Don't forget.
Yeah. Okay.
Uber
I
Eats
want to
is
switch
here.
all my Chimeras out for the
Bye, y'all.
I will see
put
you
the
next
Revo
Bye,
in 'em.
Jamie.
I
Take care,
just
Jamie.
don't change. See, like I don't change. I like the heater cartridge design,
Mhm.
but I don't change nozzle sizes that often. So where I've got the bigger printers, I have the bigger nozzles, and that's on the smaller printers. You know, if I'm
My
going to
only
print something
problem-
like this, you know, a 1.2 nozzle just doesn't make sense.
They have not released the hardened nozzle version yet.
No, they haven't.
And that's the only reason I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
Andrew S., what are your layer heights going to be? Whenever I print any statue, they're always 644, 6 top, 4 bottom, 4 perimeter. But yeah, 0 info would really help on a statue that big. And what size nozzle, I was wondering.
Get a bunch of prints in a bag.
What's he printing? What's Andrew printing?
A guy where it's a character, it looks like a man with a suit on, basically.
He's
Someone
printing
needs-
Paul.
Someone needs to
Wait.
design a robot on Finch. Named
Wait,
Jay.
he's printing a model of the guy who like invents things with stick chewing gum and paper clips.
And Swiss Army knife.
What is that?
Jerry,
So, can you guess what those are?
Guitar picks.
No.
Somebody said they look like earrings. They're not earrings.
Or they could be.
So these are very handy for when I go up north because we go in the woods a lot. These are tick removers.
Tick removal. Okay.
Oh.
By the way, you need
No, no.
those more actually in the South, Oklahoma. We still have ticks.
Oh wow!
Or just wear pantyhose.
Yep. As Jason,
And they-
Jason,
and they
Jason would know that well.
Oh,
And they
shit.
help keep you warm when it's cold.
and how often do you wear the penny those days?
Allegedly. I've heard.
These toothpaste squeezers.
Right, Kieran?
I'm not saying a thing. I'll just sit here and just nod and smile.
Kieran doesn't want to get in trouble.
No.
Keychain
Oh,
five.
those are cool, Denny. Coolness, fishy.
I like those.
I do too.
Now I want to go to what was the name of that place? Not Fishbone, fish something, fish.
I know
Jerry,
you're-
what-
It's a fish place.
Yeah.
Hey,
There's
Jerry,
a, there's a
Bonefish.
place.
It was called
Bonefish, yes.
Bonefish.
what's
Bonefish
the,
Grill.
it's a company. Is it called Gambody or Gamebody or something like that?
Gambody.
Gambody.
Yeah, they just put out a 3 printapol.
Yeah, that's the one I just showed.
That's the one. That's the one he's showing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody
I
has
thought
printed
that
it.
was a big statue.
Yeah, somebody
That's
has like
why we can't print it.
$24.99 for it.
You want
Okay.
how much for it?
$24.99 for that
No.
steel.
Not
I'm
until
getting
after
it.
Christmas. No.
I'll split it with you, Jerry.
Not until after Christmas.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we got to buy for Christmas that I don't have money for, so we need to save all that we get.
Until after Christmas, then maybe I'll let you have it.
That's what Andrew S is printing out. It's not MacGyver. It's Guyver.
Yeah,
Huh?
it's nice.
You printing that out?
That's what he's printing out. Yeah.
If it was
That's the
Mick
character.
Guyver, he'd have a bagpipe on that
So it'll
arm.
probably be about 6
No.
foot tall. About.
If,
Yeah.
no,
That'd be Matt Guyver.
Andrew, print that exactly as it is, but replace the head with John Stewart, with John, whatever his name is, the actor's head with the mullet.
Oh Lord.
Well, yeah, I made a bunch of those prints for the Christmas ball this year. I thought it'd be something interesting to do.
That's cool.
For the family. Yeah, I'm gonna show you what it looks like.
The guy that played MacGyver is with Dean Anderson. What's his first name?
Richard Dean Anderson.
Richard Dean Anderson, yeah. But
and also from
MacGyver
Stargate.
and Guyver have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
there's a sandwich in every beer, Zolan.
Chromebooks are seriously easy.
Yeah, all that yeast. Yep, absolutely.
All right. Yeah, I'm about done here anyway, Zolan. Thank you very much for dropping in. It's almost time to go eat some food and work on the garage some more.
Better.
Sounds like a plan.
And take care of his wife. He has to cook me some fish, some cheese sticks
Oh,
in the air fryer, right, Jerry?
wasn't her. Oh, I love the air fryer. Everything. Oh my gosh, that's
Air
like
fryers are wonderful.
Oh
I used to
my
deep
God.
fry everything.
I will cook steak in it. I will cook corn dogs, stack them up, put the little stick through the griddle in the bottom, let them cook standing up.
You know,
every
Jason,
soup. Huh?
Frozen.
Sleep
I buy,
in the air fryer.
I buy frozen.
Air fryer.
I buy frozen corn. Wait a minute, Denny. I buy frozen corn dogs, and I have to nuke them for a minute in the microwave because if I just air fry them for 8 minutes, the center usually aren't hot enough. So I pre-nuke them, and then I throw them in the air fryer to get them crunchy for like 7-8 minutes.
Oh, you got to do your temperature right.
French fries
Jason, in your air fryer.
350, I think, for 8 minutes.
Do a pork roast. Put it on
Excuse
the-
me, I just got to change the channel name. Cooking with Jerry. It's now
3D printing and cooking.
Yeah, I got
And
a
air
KitchenAid mixer I bought me for myself, not my wife. I love to cook stuff. I don't cook
I
that
have
much.
to cook. I don't cook unless I have
I
to.
cook as much as I print, put it that way, but not as much. I cook more than I paint.
I air fry more than I cook, but I cook about as much as you paint.
Which is never.
So if it's outside of the air, when we got the Instant Pot thing, I was like, oh, that's it, sell the oven, and that was it. And then we got the Ninja Foodie one, which was the air fryer and the everything in it. Man, that air fryer, everything goes in the air fryer. Everything.
That's if you take the oven out, the rat rig would perfectly fit inside the gap, wouldn't it? Where the oven sits.
Probably.
Yeah,
So
because a standard oven size is 350 by 350. If you got the bigger oven size, if you had a bigger oven, it would fit perfectly. Yeah.
I could get that 600 by 600 when Liam's getting on wheels. Roll it right in.
Yeah. And put the hob on top so she wouldn't know the difference.
And that would be perfect to just do Paul right there in the kitchen. Bring him She's so mad. She's so mad at me.
Hey, Deceible.
On the fingers.
Jason?
You're welcome, Jerry. She's not even mad at you anymore.
I'm actually printing the people's ornament that I'm trying out.
I know. I know.
So you're banned from the house now.
No,
If this was Canada, I'd
Even
say
if
I'm
you
sorry.
start selling his princes, Jason, you can't go to the house.
No, he didn't come meet the witch of the house.
It looks good, Denny.
Popping. I don't like that.
And here I am.
You don't like what?
It's popping every time I try to
I'm
print.
a good witch.
It's trying to extrude too much film in your gear. It's going click, click,
Oh.
click, click.
We'll say you're
too close,
charmed,
or your
right?
flow rate's a bit
I'm a
high.
good
Yeah.
witch. Have you ever seen the show The Good Witch with Catherine Bell in it? And
Yeah,
Bella-
but I like Charmed better because there was 3 Catherine Bells in
Okay,
it.
I can do that.
Yeah, 3's always better than 1, eh, Jason?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So, 2 in here reduced temperament.
The French like it. What?
Me and my mom. 2 witches here reduced temperament.
Quattro is a better number, is it?
Here's a picture right here I want to show you guys. This is from Andrew South. It's Guyver.
I don't even know what Guyver is.
Hey, y'all.
It's a bodysuit, but like
From-
it's an enemy character basically.
From what?
Yeah, what's it from?
It's an anime.
It's an alien.
like-
It's
like
a
anime.
movie. I'm thinking. I don't remember
Where's the
exactly. But
head?
I'm thinking a guy got some kind of power. He changed into Guyver.
Where's the
Guyver's
head?
like an alien, but I don't remember exactly.
That was Green Lantern.
No, Guyver is similar, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
I think. It's been a long time. I watched too many shows. but I have.
It's a Japanese manga or anime series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's what our granddaughter likes to dress up as, Jerry.
There was a movie in 1991. There you go.
Come on, that you're admitting your age.
A lot of people don't know the first film to have Mark Hamill. Wasn't that 8 is Enough?
Yeah, he was in 8 is Enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm admitting my age now.
Oh, Jerry, did you see that when I
He
started
was
in the
in 8 is
chat?
Enough. You're right, Jason.
Yeah.
What, Denny?
Did you see when I started in the chat?
It was in the private comments I seen. Yeah.
Oh, Denny, like the pictures you shared on Facebook or to Jerry.
So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing some of the 3D prints, and basically you get the saran wrap ball. So I had to make it. So I wanted to come up with one last year, the 3D printing ball. I'd be able to put all kinds of 3D prints in it, candy, lottery tickets. So basically what you do, you get the dice, and you have to roll doubles. And while the person next to you unravels the ball, it can go in either direction. It can go straight that way. It's fun.
Oh yeah, I played that game. Is crazy.
So yeah, every time my family goes to play it, there'll be candy flying all over the place. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun for the family.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Everybody should do that at Christmas time.
Nice.
Yeah, Jerry, now that you gave a description of that show, that Geiger show, I remember it now. I remember seeing that.
Yeah, it was something like that. I don't remember exactly. I think somebody found something. Andrew would have to cut it down real short, but he somehow an alien entity. I think he turned into it. I don't think Guyver came. I think he turned into Guyver in the suit. I don't know. I don't remember exactly.
It's not the pitching in to buy the model, Dennis. It's the pitching in to pay for the medical costs for the surgery after he prints the model that we have to pay for, which would get very expensive.
Yeah, I've got plenty of filament. I just need to. I'll get the model at some point.
Yeah, it's the Medicare that's best.
I plan on getting it too. I'm not going to print it that big.
After Christmas.
Well, I mean, if I print one, I could do it 2 foot tall, or I could do it 4 or 5 feet tall. I think it'd be really cool to do it like 5 feet tall. I don't have anything that big.
Brody will have a cow. I got the alien put together, just temporary. He comes out of the bedroom and sitting out here on the coffee table. He's kind of in a little jog. He stops dead in his tracks and starts barking at it. that's Alien I printed for the movie Alien. That damn thing's 3 feet long. He don't like it. He'll come out of the bedroom and he'll see we got him Christmas stockings last year. So my aide hung up the Christmas stocking. Hey, Tim.
Cheetos?
The carrots.
I want to print the Snailian.
What's a Snailian?
It's you've never seen the Snailian?
Is it like an alien snail body?
Yeah, it's the snail, but then the head is the alien head from Alien.
Oh wow!
The movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hex 3D did that, didn't they? Hex 3D.
yeah, I have it. I just haven't gotten around to it. I've been kind of like I look at it and I start thinking like, do I want to do it in filament?
Carter.
Here's what Guyver's all about, basically.
How old is your daughter, Jason? 3?
Yeah, should be 4 in this February.
Oh, people.
Yeah, almost as old as Jerry.
It's like a
Who's almost as old as me?
My daughter.
Oh.
My snowflakes are looking good.
Yeah, they are, Tim.
What do you, Jason? You say you're what, 43, 44?
48.
48.
A
okay.
youngster.
Yeah.
A youngster.
I'm
I think Lane
47.
said he's 50 or 51.
No, you're not.
I'm 47.
37.
47.
Yeah, she's 10 years younger than me. I'm 57.
I just turned older, 59.
There's no way, D-Lit.
Oh yeah, 59. Born in 62.
You don't look it at all. You look
Well,
like
It's just because the picture's small. But if you put it full screen, it adds 12 years to him.
Jason, Karen, how old are you?
Older than Jerry.
No.
I'm older than Jerry.
Yeah.
Are you older than Tim?
Older than me.
Everybody's
I'm older
names
than
in
Tim
chat.
as well.
Oh, there we go. I like that.
He's older than Jerry and Tim added together.
Oh, it's not nice. Jason, you're supposed to be nice to my friends.
He is being nice.
This is nice.
Yeah.
Well, you're older than me, Jason, by a year.
Oh, wow.
I'm 47.
20%. That's more than 20%.
There you go.
Nothing wrong with it. 87 starts to hit the the struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're coming up on 4 hours here in a couple minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream and
All right.
go back and do this again next week and
We live in
we'll make
a
some dinner. And anybody have anything you want to say to
some-
everybody before we leave?
Get some civilized carry on.
Yeah, do
All right,
it.
well, everybody have a good night.
High five.
Be safe.
Hey,
And
Dennis.
we'll see you next time.
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow, D-Bit.
Just to give you nightmares before you go, because Jason likes it.
Well, Tim, Brandy, Kieran, Jason, 3D Print Newbie, Mylan, Denny, everybody have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thank
And
you.
I hope
Welcome,
you can help
Jerry.
Tim work out the bugs, Jason. And
Thank you,
and,
Karen.
everybody,
You're welcome,
watching the
Brandy.
chat, I really appreciate it. Please like, share. I'd really appreciate it. So, and we'll be back when we're back. I don't know. I keep talking about how I want to go on Twitch, but I don't know when that's going to happen. So at the moment, I'm just going to stay on YouTube. I don't know if Twitch will happen or not.
Next
So,
Saturday at 1 o'clock, we'll be here. Y'all
Yep.
be here.
so everybody
Thanks
have
for
a great
enduring
night.
us.
Thank you very much. Take care, everybody.
Stay
All right,
safe,
have a
guys.
good day.
Bye.
Yes, good night.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Brandy, on your side, Brandy, you can click Leave Studio, that red button at the bottom of the mouse. Take care, everybody.
Bye.